always in the media. Better stop treating me small or media. I'm extra large, big ticket, premium. Bout that time you believe in me. Yeah, I'ma lay it down, grabbing that crown. Laying dollars on the ground, gonna double up now. 65 to 4 and 3, 2, one more time. Heavy punchline about to bruise. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Lay low, lay high, lay low, lay high. If you feel my vibes, then pop with me. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Lay low, lay high, lay low, lay high. Clear your heads now, watch them peek. Let me go and prove my worth, let me earn it. Gonna pass this test and get me a permit. Watch how I do, sit down, observe it. Fires in my soul, uncontrollable pressure. Taking me then, look at me now. Scratch your bones, the booty cool, make you bow now. Class one to a point to see. Blow a kiss goodbye while they scream and shriek. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Lay low, lay high, lay low, lay high. If you feel my vibes, then pop with me. Let it go, let it out, let it go, let it out. Take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Lay low, lay high, lay low, lay high. Clear your heads now, watch them peek.
Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the weekly gaming update. And joining me today is our friend, Mr. Grimblade. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while.
Hey, glad to be here. It's been, what was it? We did the looking back at Nobuo Uematsu. That was
Yes.
the last time I was on. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, what, January? It feels like forever now. Or in June.
Yeah, it's half a year. It's been just a little while. But
Yeah.
good time for gaming right now. I mean, we just got through all these showcases. Oof.
Yes. We got the best of the fest coming up for you, talking our thoughts about what we enjoyed, what we found interesting, and overall just ranking how we thought each showcase was going to be. But before we begin, today's song was Deep Breath from the Persona 3 Reloaded soundtrack. And I wanted to bring that up too because it was just announced that Persona is going to have a world tour. Well, I should say a Asian tour of Persona Reloaded and Persona 5 Royal music concert coming up this upcoming fall, it looks like, from what I was reading.
Man, I wish I could go to something like that. They were doing that Final Fantasy tour earlier this year. I think it's actually like around now, right?
Yeah, I actually went to that. It's the Square Enix tour.
Yeah, man, I'm jealous. One day I'll go to one of those.
Yes, it was very fun. It was very nice. They opened the show with One Winged Angel, and they went really deep. They went to games like Xenogears, Tales and Trails of Mana, Live Alive, which I was shocked. I was like, oh, they got that. They went really hard into Nier as well. I think they had
Nice.
4 Nier songs, including one from the mobile game that I didn't even know existed.
I didn't know. Was it Uematsu specifically, or was it Square as a whole?
Square as a whole.
Oh,
So
okay.
they had like a program there, and I don't have it on me right now. It's downstairs, but it covered the entire history of Square Enix's music and all the composers and what games they worked on, and gave a little biography in both English and Japanese, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it was fun. I think it was like an hour and a half show, and
Mhm.
ironically enough, it was on Mother's Day when I went. So I thought that so it was kind of funny because they were showing the scene when Sephiroth goes to Genova. So I was like,
Mother.
that's some funny timing. But yeah, so before we begin getting really deep into this, Grim, letter grade all the showcases: PlayStation State of Play, Summer's Games Fest, Xbox Showcase, and the Nintendo Direct. Well, how would you grade them all?
I'll do you one better. I actually prepared for this, and I did those four plus the PC gaming show.
All right, cool. I didn't watch that, so let me hear it.
All right, just going down the letter grade, and we'll get into details of each showcase as we go along. For State of Play, this one's tough. This is the one that's closest to a borderline for me, but just because of everything else we saw from the other showcases, this one I ranked just a little bit lower than I did initially. I initially said I would have put it an 8 out of 10, a B, but I'm going to give this one a C for
You
the
know
State
what?
of Play.
You know what? I agree with you. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about this as well because I was watching that Sony State of Play and I'm like, this is pretty good. It's pretty fun. And then God of War Lao Fei or Lu Fei, I don't know how they pronounce it, came on, and that 20 minutes really felt like it dragged a little too long, for my opinion, and it dragged the grade down to a C for me.
Mm. Yeah, I liked what we saw of Lao Fei for the most part. I think everybody's got some concerns.
Hmm.
Um, but for me, I'm gonna give it benefit of the doubt because I'm remembering going back to the original. I say original, the 2018 God of War
Mm-hmm.
reveal was also sort of a very long, sort of cinematic look with that sort of troll fight at the end. There's a little bit more gameplay in that one, but still, like this is what God of War in the modern. I don't know if you call this a trilogy or the modern God of War games are like. I do like that this one seems to be leaning more into sort of the floaty, like you're in the air doing some crazy combos. Not quite Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's like closer to those original God of War games.
Yeah.
So I liked what we saw of the gameplay. I'm cautiously looking forward to the story. There's some interesting ideas that they can, and we can delve further into this if you want to.
Yeah, by all
There's
means.
some
Let's talk about everything of the fest. So yeah, we're talking about State of Play. Let's go with that first.
Sure. Okay. So with God of War La Fey, the thing that stands out to me is the possibility and the potential for what they can do with an afterlife. Because
Right.
with that afterlife, you have the potential not only to introduce all of these other gods from different mythologies that we've already seen, like Begsi was from Mongolian, Tibetan sort of tradition. It's a god of war. And then you've got what's her name? Was the other god that was shown off? I'm trying to remember. It is Egyptian god.
Yeah, I forget her name. Saket. I can't remember.
Seket.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I might be pronouncing it wrong, but she's also a god of war, but she's also the god of medicine and a couple of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that those are both two god of wars. I wonder if they're going to lean into that and have you fight against a bunch of different gods of wars from different mythologies. Another direction they could take it, which would be really interesting, is what if you got to do like a round two against the Greek gods? Like, what if we see a return of Ares, Poseidon, Zeus? Right? I don't know if you want to go all the way to Zeus. Maybe save that for another game.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tease that, or you could bring back some of the Greek or even the Norse gods for like I don't know. There's some interesting storytelling there. So
Yeah.
I'm not immediately like down on this game. There's some concerns with the writing, specifically around the two new characters,
The cube and the ribbon.
Yeah, yeah, the cube and the ribbon. I would say the ribbon more than the cube. Everybody's been talking about the gelatinous cube, but the ribbon had some pretty cringe dialogue. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, we had the talking head Mimir in the last two games, who could be kind of cringy sometimes.
I think a lot of people are just kind of concerned because I myself, I know I used to get into some button heads with people about Ragnarok, but like Ragnarok to me was such a drastic departure in writing that I still don't believe that it was the same writing team. They tell me it was, and I just sit there and go, it just doesn't feel like it. The overuse of millennial swearing, the overuse of just like quickly get to the point plot points that don't seem to breathe too much, and the annoying squirrel. I hated the squirrel a lot in Ragnarok. All right,
Mm.
I felt that felt like a lot of continuation, and there was an interview Corey Barlog did too. Post it. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I saw with the new director. She was previously a producer, lead on story,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. So she was directly involved in the writing for Ragnarok in 2018.
Yeah, and on top of that too, it sounds like they were also working on this game simultaneously, from what I was reading, with Ragnarok. So I think this game was in production while they were finishing up Ragnarok as well. I think it's been in production. I read somewhere like 4 years now.
Mm. You've got to
So,
think there's another Kratos game for sure being developed right now,
hmm
like simultaneously.
there's a Kratos game that they are probably working on. There could be, even an Atreus game if they really want to try it. I mean, for anyone who hasn't played the 2018 God of War game, they basically had a storyline set up with Heimdall, the God of War for the Norse mythology, that he kind of was more of a peacemaking God of War, and he was trying to get along with all the other realms. So I wonder how much of that, like you were saying, because I forget now. Was he killed or is he like MIA? Did they really establish what happened to him?
I don't remember what's established in Ragnarok with him. And I remember in 2018, because I replayed it recently,
Mm.
that he was MIA at the time. It's not Heimdall. It's what's his name? Uh, I can't remember. But he's in Ragnarok, I thought.
Uh, so spoilers. He's in the game, but he's not in the game.
Right.
That's the spoiler about that. I don't. It's more like Odin is pretending to be him the entire time.
Right. Well, I guess that's one I need to go back and replay ahead of this. But yeah, that's this was for me the most exciting game. There's again, maybe this is part of the reason that I rated this specific showcase relatively lowly compared to the others, which we'll get to in a minute. Like, I didn't rate any of the others below a 7 out of 10, so this was like bottom of the barrel for me. Um,
Yeah.
but it's still an exciting game. There's a lot of potential here, and there's other stuff that was interesting at the state of play as well.
Yeah. What are
Um,
the other things that you liked about the state of play? I just have this going right now, just for visual.
so I guess one thing to say about the state of play just in general is there really weren't a lot of surprises.
Mm.
This game, even this game, had leaked. Like all the major games, it seems like for this year, kind of leaked ahead of time.
Yeah.
We sort of knew this one was coming, but the leaks had indicated it was going to be a little bit different than what we saw here. And so for me, like the most of the exciting things was just seeing more of games we already knew about. So my second most exciting game from this showcase would have been Wolverine.
Mm.
Um, I had a bet going with a couple of my buddies that when we saw this game next, we would see a motorcycle, and I was excited to see that is in fact there. Um, I also had been talking with my friends and saying, hey, you know what? Like, I don't think that Wolverine would make sense as an open world game, not in the Spider-Man sense. I think this game needs to be a little bit more linear, and it seems like that is what's happening. that Wolverine's going to be a more linear sort of. I wouldn't say it's sort of Uncharted like, but it seems like the story missions at the very least seem to be more on rails. Like maybe like like you can see here in the gameplay, like there's plenty of like open area, like you can come at it from different angles. But like once you get into the fight, like you see that it's pretty straightforward. You go in a line, you follow a linear path from one enemy to the next, and then there's a cinematic, and then you run off and get on your bike. Like it looks pretty linear, and I think linear has gotten a bad rep over the past few years with all the open world bloat that we've seen in a lot of games.
Yep.
I think this is a good thing. I'm excited about this. So that was for me the thing that stood out the most was just seeing what appears to be, maybe it's because of the demo, a game that is not trying to like build a living, breathing world for you to explore. Maybe I'll turn out to be terribly wrong. I mean, even if they do have an open world, if the missions are a little bit more linear, I think that would still be a good balance to have.
Yeah, I think I was reading somewhere that Insomniac themselves confirmed that this is just going to be more point A to point B on the rails than more, explore New York City.
Right.
Because I think there's multiple set pieces, especially with some of the boss fights that we've seen with Sabretooth being introduced into this game. It does look like it's going to be, mission to mission. But it's like, are they going to do a hub world style, kind of like Doom Eternal? Or are they going to just do, like you said, the Uncharted, point A to point B, move on to next area, point A to point B?
Yeah. Other than this one, the another game I was pretty excited for, again, poorly kept secret, Rayman Legends Retold. That was Rayman Legends supposed to be one of the best Rayman games. I never actually played it. Played a lot of Rayman as a kid, but somehow I missed out on that one. And Retold like just is beautiful, like Pixar-esque almost. Like, and I say Pixar-esque, it's more like a DreamWorks. Whenever I saw it, it reminded me of like a DreamWorks movie, in a good way, right?
Yeah.
Very, very, very pretty art style, easy to look at. They're doing some interesting like mix of 2D and 3D. It seems like again one of those high quality sort of ground up remakes. It's a shame they could never actually do that with Prince of Persia, but at least this one looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked pretty good, that game. I never played the Rayman games back in the day. Still kind of one of those fun little blind spots for me as a gamer. But overall, this looked really good, really fresh. Kind of like you said, it got that good Illuminations, Pixar kind of vibe to it, which I do appreciate. But I know one thing that happens is once you talk about remakes, everybody online says it's going to be bad. So I haven't seen that though for this one per se. Beyond like maybe a couple weirdos saying like, "Oh, the Viking girl, her boobies aren't as big," and I'm just like, "All right, I guess that's your number one concern. I mean, I can't really argue with you. It's just your concern."
Never even registered for me. So, but I mean,
yeah, people are going to be weird.
Anytime you remake a classic, and this is, to be clear, like one of the highest rated 2D platformers of all time. Like it's a really good game, or so I've heard. So I'm excited to try this one out. I missed out on it the first time, and this looks like it's going to be a good romp.
Yeah, I might pick it up, but it's also coming out on October 1st. So that means it will probably be destroyed. It will be destroyed by the month of September and everything else that is coming before it too. But it's sad, but We were talking about the other day. Just all these games are coming out in September. Especially on September like 24th. I think there was 4 or 5 games that were all coming out on one day. Let me see over here. Yeah, September 24th. So, Hell is Us is coming to Switch 2. Garfield Escape from the Mondays. Control Resonance. Dragon Quest 11 Switch 2 edition. Silent Hill Townfall. Hot Wheels Infinite Rush. Harvest Moon Echoes. And this game actually got pushed out of it. Valor Mortis. But
Yeah, Valor Mortis. They got pushed to October, right?
yeah. But it's just like, look at how many games that are coming out on September 24th. It's like, why that day? you know?
As you know what though, like listening to that list, there's 2 Switch ports. So like, if you're not like specifically playing all of your games on Switch, like I wouldn't necessarily count those. And then of the others, there's not really a lot of overlap in terms of genres. I know a lot of gamers play multiple genres, but like if you're a genre gamer, like I'm most interested in RPGs, for example. Um, then like you won't be missing out too much in that specific day of September.
Yeah.
Just pick one. The unfortunate part is the week before and the week after are also packed. So
Yeah. And that's, and even in August, it's super packed. And the week before, the other 2 weeks is super packed. But as for me, another game that I really feel like I can't wait to get my hands on is this prequel game about Bancho, the chef from Dave the Diver. He's basically going to be getting his own kind of cooking mama kind of style game where you learn how to make sushi from a master sushi chef. So, Dave the Diver's big DLC is also coming out next week on the 18th as well.
yeah, I saw that as well.
So I was like, oh, damn. I got to figure out. I haven't found it for pre-order on any consoles yet. I checked on my Switch, PS5, and the Xbox, and so far the only place you can pre-order is on PC. So I don't know if it's gonna have a lag effect or not, but just a little heads up on that one. Dave the Diver, the Dave verse is expanding. They're doing a lot. They had a lot of success, and I don't know if you saw this too, but did you see that Mint Rocket is also going to be making a Godzilla Defense Force game?
I did see something about the Godzilla game. People were making memes about it. But yeah, no, that's exciting. And you know, I played probably 20 hours of Dave the Diver. That game is just like unlimited. Like it's unlimited content. It's like if you took all the mini games from Yakuza, multiplied it by 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Yes,
But a lot of fun that game.
it's
I'm
a lot of
hoping
fun.
Bancho is just as good.
Yeah, I can't wait to check it out. It looks just as good. Um, I like that studio a lot. I listened to their deep dives and I watched the whole explanation for Dave the Diver's new DLC. So overall, I thought that was, one of the nice surprises. I'm shocked it was at the Sony event. I thought for
Yeah.
sure it might have been at the Nintendo event because that's where I first learned about Dave the Diver. But hey, look, it is what it is. Dave is now on everything, and you can't stop the cult of Dave, as they would say.
Yeah. Man, like just talking about these couple games, it's like it's not a bad showcase. It's just with everything else we're about to talk about, and it's just not quite as good.
Before we kind of move on, though, there are a couple of fun other announcements. Obviously, Phantom Blade Zero got delayed. It was supposed to come out at what, early September or late August, if I recall correctly. Do you remember?
I wasn't paying too close attention to that. I'm kind of Souls gamed out, even though it's not really a Souls game, but it's too many
pushing.
similar games.
It's pushing on it, but yeah, that was announced earlier that it was supposed to come out early fall, but then that got pushed to October. Obviously, no Rest for the Wicked getting 1.0 release and coming to PlayStation 5. Have you played Rest for the Wicked? I know we just said we're souls out, but
Yeah, that one's a little bit different. I might play it when the 1.0 comes out. I have not played the early access. I've heard really good things, but for those of you who aren't aware, No Rest for the Wicked is the next game from some of the developers of Ori, um, uh, and it's like an ARPG, so like a Diablo style game,
Hmm.
but they slowed down the combat, and instead of like the relatively fast paced loot focused gameplay of an ARPG, it's very slow and methodical, like a Dark Souls, and then specifically referring to like Dark Souls 1 and 3. um, so it's a unique take on the ARPG. Like it's a Souls like in an ARPG, which makes it just unique in a way that a lot of these like copy paste sort of Souls games aren't. Not to say that some of these Souls games aren't great, by the way. Like I love Souls games. I cut my teeth on them, but like this one is doing something different. That one interests me just a little bit more. The Steam reviews have been overwhelmingly positive as of late. It started off kind of bad, but as the early access has gone along, the reception has really been picking up. They've been doing a lot of good updates.
Yes, yes. I heard good things about it, but I just haven't played anything about at all about that. So more of that to come. Next up, did you remember? I don't know if you remember this game, but Kimuri. Do you remember this
Kim
one?
Uri, that's from what's her name? Ishi something. Don't remember. She was originally on Ghostwire Tokyo.
Tokyo, yeah.
Uh huh.
So this is her first big comeback to gaming. I think this is she's the lead head of the studio. I think I saw, or she's like one of the big names at the studio. Coming to PS5 and PC exclusively here. Looks interesting. I don't really know what kind of game this is going to be though.
Yeah, the gameplay is kind of hard to digest from just the trailer here. Like I feel like I would need to see some more uncut gameplay, but the art style is pretty unique.
Yeah, this reminds me of what Ghostwire Tokyo could have been in the future because it does feel
Mm,
like a lot of these ideas with fighting yokai in a giant city and all the like the free floating combat and stuff like that. It feels like what the future evolution of say Ghostwire 2 could have been.
right. Like I feel like this is maybe what she wanted it to be,
Hmm.
and like what we got wound up having a little bit of a darker, like almost horror atmosphere. That's maybe the sort of the bread and butter or sort of DNA of Tango, being from Shinji Mikami and sort of the
Hmm.
Resident Evil people. But I understand that most of the studio at Tango before it was split off, like first before she left and took some of the people with her,
Hmm.
and then like after the studio got shut down by Xbox or shut down, then moved over to I forget which
Crafton.
Crafton, yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I think she took half the team with her, and this is what they've been working on.
Yeah.
So it seems like a spiritual successor to Ghostwire Tokyo for sure.
it,
I got the same vibe.
it feels like there's something that they were working on there, but to be honest with you, it feels like they don't really know what they want. It feels like it's a multiplayer game, but they're saying that it's not a full multiplayer game. I don't know. I can't speculate. But
Yeah.
it definitely did say that you need PlayStation Online to play it. So that does make me worry that it's going to have a limited audience for what could probably be a pretty good game, I would say. Pretty good game. It looks like it's taken a lot of inspiration from prior titles she worked on because she was at Platinum for a bit and she did work with Hideki Kamiya on Bayonetta.
Oh.
So I would feel like, that that might translate over, but at the same time, it's kind of sad to see that it's another multiplayer only game. What it looks like too. So I don't know. I might not play it just because of that alone. Because I don't pay for PlayStation Online, so there's no reason for me to do it. But it's coming to PC.
I was gonna say it's not a a PS5 exclusive. I thought so.
Yeah, so maybe that will also help save it. But yeah, I don't know. You know what what the truth is. It's always hard to figure out what's going to be a hit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, like I said, the showing was a little bit weird there. Like, you get the style and the basic idea, the concept, but I need to see more sort of uncut gameplay before I'm sold on that one.
Yeah. A couple more highlights from the show. Onimusha got another trailer and a demo with Way of the Sword coming out September 25th. I'm excited for it because I'm also a big Onimusha fan. Haven't played the demo yet because I've kind of been a little hectic. Grim, are you interested in this at all?
See, I've not played any of the Onimusha games. I tried the demo a little bit, but I recently switched to Linux, and
Mm.
unfortunately, it seems like the demo, either my graphics card or Linux itself, it wasn't working quite right. I was getting some flickering textures.
Mm.
But what I did play seemed pretty fun. I only played like 10 minutes. It's like a 30-minute demo. I understand the boss is supposed to be pretty good. I talked to a couple guys who played through the demo. Not a super long one, but from what I hear, it's pretty good. And what I played was pretty good. I'm gonna wait on reviews, and if it reviews well, I will probably pick this one up for sure. It seems like a high quality, just another high quality game.
Yes, with Capcom being leading the way this year with
Yeah,
really great games. I'm
leading the way every year. Capcom's like probably the best publisher right now. It's crazy.
It's kind of hard. You know, it's funny. So this is was in another Discord I'm in, and one of our friends, she was going on about how Capcom should do more than Resident Evil, and I was thinking about when she said that, and I had to come up with a list in my head of just like how much Capcom's been doing, because
Yeah,
also what was announced in this state of play was that part of the classics collection, they were also going to port Dawn of Dreams, which is the fourth Onimusha game, to PlayStation 5. And I'm just thinking like out loud here. I'm like, well, they're giving us two Onimusha games. They're giving us like two Resident Evil games in a calendar year because we'll talk about that later. But they
we
announced
got Pragmata.
Veronica, yeah, and then they got Pragmata. They announced a couple years back that they're going to have Okami 2. They announced last year that they're going to have a new Mega Man game.
Mega Man, yeah.
They're going to port the DS Mega Man games later this year as well, which I think a lot of people forgot because of all the hubbub that's been going around.
Something new for Street Fighter too, right?
Yeah, they announced the Street Fighter new character packs at the Summer Games Fest, and the big expansion to Monster Hunter Wilds as well. But we'll get into that soon, really next.
Hmm.
But on top of that too, they just ported all the GOG games that came out, the OG Resident Evil, OG Resident Evil 2, and OG Resident Evil 3, and Breath of Fire 4. They ported those from GOG to Steam as well. So Capcom's been
Yeah,
doing a lot.
Capcom is like inarguably like the best publisher in the industry right now. They've just been hit after hit after hit.
Well, on top of
I
that too, I'm sorry to cut you off, but one more thing I didn't mention, they even went back to give an update to the Ace Attorney collection to add more language support and stuff.
That's one thing that I saw some people speculating about. Like, let's get a new Ace Attorney game this year, and did not show up, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I did read that Capcom said that they do have three more unannounced projects, but after they announced Veronica, I think that was one of the three. I don't want to count the expansion as one of the three because I feel like everyone knew that was coming. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, it was no duh. But I feel they have a couple more barrels in the chamber. And Jeff Keighley today just tweeted that they will be at the summer festival, I think, or
What's it called? The Gamescom.
Gamescom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gamescom opening. Just before we move on from Capcom, like your friend that mentioned, like she wanted more from Capcom. I'm gonna guess that probably she's alluding to Dino Crisis. And here's my theory: after they do Veronica, the next remake's gonna be Zero for sure. Like at this point, they've done most of the older Resident Evil games. And then there's some argument like, does 5 even need a remake? And then if you do remake 5, 5's not really a horror game.
It's
It's
an
more of an action game. It's
Yeah.
co-op focused. 6 is the same way. It's sort of a departure. So my theory is after they do Veronica, they do 0. They're gonna go and that remaster. Whoever's lined up to do the next remake is gonna do Dino Crisis.
They keep hammering the new director of all these remakes every time they talk about Dino Crisis with him, and he has to keep saying no comment, obviously. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants it. So
I think it's coming after 0 remake. I think that's going to be the next one.
See,
they might go back and do 5 at some point, but
you know what my theory is? They're going to remake 0. And it's going to be the springboard they use to remake 5 because 0 is going to be a co-op game. I have 100% theory about that it will be an actual co-op game. Because the original Resident Evil 0 lets you switch between 2 characters. And I feel like that remake, they're just going to bring full-on co-op like they originally were trying to.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they get some flack sometimes when they skew a little bit too far from the original.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff they did with Resident Evil 3, for example.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, 0, I haven't played that since I was a kid. I put that on the GameCube. That was my first real Resident Evil game. I watched my dad play the other ones before that, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I replayed 0 on PlayStation 4 earlier this year. That game fucking sucks. I'm sorry. It's not good. So I was watching a documentary though by Matty McMuscles, and he was breaking down like what happened with this thing. Originally, it was supposed to be an N64 game. Did you know that?
No, I'm trying to remember, when did that come out? That was pretty early in the GameCube's life cycle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And so originally started off as a N64 title they were working with, and then it was supposed to be a full co-op game, like a couch co-op game. And then they scrapped all that stuff, went to the GameCube, and they were having issues because the game lets you play as 2 characters. So what they had to do was, inside of the GameCube's memory, was they had to suspend whatever character you picked and just keep them on the opposite side of the train, and then reload another set of the game and just continue going on with that side of the game. So it was an ambitious title at the time for them, definitely. And I feel like this, if they were going to remake, it just makes sense just to full on rehammer that, because it's not. First off, it's not that great of a game, and second off, I feel like nowadays they have the technology and the know-how to actually make a multiplayer co-op game a lot easier. So I feel like they could do that. I want to see that get remade, and I also want to see Resident Evil Outbreak get remade. I think it's about time.
Yeah. All right. That's State of Play. Summer Games Fest, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, apologies. My cat is also trying to. I heard your dog coming into the mic.
Yeah, my wife just came home, so they're going to go greet her. No, but quickly before we move on, 2 more announcements. Until Dawn 2, don't really feel anything for it. I was joking that the character models look like Gary's mod put on steroids. And
I have no feelings towards that franchise, I'm afraid. I know it's very popular.
And the second one I wanted to talk about, because this one actually looked cool, but Ill.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about that one?
That's actually, I've got a list of the games I was most excited from the State of Play. This is actually my number 4 after Rayman. I really like the look of this game. It looks like it's towing a good sort of balance between like a traditional horror and something closer to like I don't know, maybe like a BioShock 1 where
Mhm.
it's like it's something. Maybe it's like the art style, the way the hands are a little bit off, like out of proportion, or the faces.
Mhm.
The guns, just like the feel of the game somehow reminds me of like an immersive sim.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It looks really good though. I am interested. I will wait again to see, because this is, I don't think this is a known developer, right? This is a newer studio.
I think they're using though the same engine that the Atomic Heart team is, so
Uh,
I don't
that
know if
explains why it looks a little bit Bioshocky.
yeah, so I don't know if they're acting as the publisher and this is a new studio. I have done zero research into this. So this information's out there, but I've done zero research into this because I keep forgetting
Mm.
about it. Um, but I feel like either this is a small team within the studio, or it's the Mudfish engine and they're publishing this game or helping get this game out there. I think one thing I thought was funny though is that if you look at some of the stuff that you see with some of these zombies, it looks like they were blurring out some zombie penis, which made me laugh. Like here, right here.
Oh, oh.
So I was laughing about that. So it's just it looks like some fun stuff is going to go on there for sure.
Yeah, that game looks really good. I would put it up a little bit higher on the list, but I still feel like I don't know enough about the game yet. Maybe I just need to go and like read into it a little bit more. Maybe they've like done some dev diaries or something.
Yeah, that's how I feel like too. I want to see more as well. And we've got our buddy Mr. Nerdporial join us saying, "Hi, Carl. Hi, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing good out there, Brian." So yeah, that should close our thoughts about the PlayStation Showcase, state of play, I should say correctly. Overall, I do agree with you. I give it a C. I gave it a C grade myself. I feel like it was good enough. There was a lot of highs. There was a lot of stuff I was excited about. One more final thing. They're bringing Guitaru Man to the PS5, and if you
Yeah.
haven't played Guitaru Man, definitely pick that up, especially because it's going to be $10 and it's about a $150 game physically if you want it.
You know, one thing that I heard some people say about the state of play after the fact was, if you look at the games, like the list of games on a sheet of paper, it's like, wow, this is really good. This is like a B and A. But I think where they really failed on this one is in the presentation.
Yeah.
Like too much time spent on games that we already know a lot about. Or in the case of God of War, they told us 20 minutes of gameplay. We got 3 minutes of gameplay and 17 of cinematics.
I want to say one more thing. If they would have ended that trailer or showcase, whatever you want to fucking call it, if they would have ended it right when she's going, like she says Kratos and it shows Kratos there, and they would have ended it, that fucking would have just ended the showcase like right out of the park. It would have been a higher grade for me.
Yeah, for Nerdporial here.
Yeah.
We went over these earlier, but my top 5, I'll just go through these quickly. We're God of War Lao Fei from State of Play, Marvel's Wolverine, Rayman Legends Retold, Ill, which we just talked about, and another one we didn't talk about, which was Stuntman Hollywood. That's just a good surprise. Like I like those sort of arcade racer games.
I like when a dormant IP comes back and it looks like it's going to be handled very well. Obviously, Saber Interactive is working on that game, which I love. And Saber did announce later on in that through subsequent interviews that they are going to have a Jurassic Park level. So
that'll be fun
about that. And to segue into that, Saber also is working on the Jurassic Park Survivor game. And they said that's still coming along. When? Don't know, but it's coming. All right, so that will be our final thoughts about that one. Now let's move on to the Summer Games Fest. And Grim, what would you give that show?
Yeah, so Summer Game Fest, like this is sort of like with State of Play. This one could be on a borderline depending on your personal taste. I think if you're a horror game fan, this is like one of the best showcases ever. Fortunately for me, I'm not really a big horror fan, so this one for me was an 8 out of 10. I give it a
Mm.
B.
See, I was actually a lot higher on this than you. I gave it an A minus.
I think, like I said, that's fair. It totally is dependent on what kinds of games you like, and I 100% understand. I would understand if you told me this was a 10 out of 10.
Mm.
Like if this was your kind of showcase, that's great. And we'll see when we get to another showcase here in a minute what my kind of showcase looks like,
Mm-hmm.
which might not be as strong for other people. So.
But yeah, they opened the show obviously with the world premiere of the announcement of Resident Evil Veronica, and that was pretty cool. We kind of talked about this in the Capcom thing. Caught me off guard. I was at work when I was watching this, so I didn't get the full pleasure of it. But rewatching it, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty nice." I've never played Code Veronica though, so I am going into this totally blind.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with Code Veronica either. I just know that a lot of the OG fans talk about how beautiful it was for the time. It was a Dreamcast really ahead of its time graphically. One of the highest rated games in the series, too.
Yeah. So you're not a big fan of Resident Evil then? That's what Brian's asking?
Not a huge fan, no. I've played some of the classic games back in the day. And then I played a little bit of Resident Evil 5 back on the 360, but I've not really played the new ones. I own every single one of them. One day I will do like a serious playthrough, but my plan is to go through the Silent Hill games first.
And then, of course, followed up after this one, they had Studio MDHR, which, for everyone who doesn't know, is basically the Cuphead studio. I actually did enjoy this little like Muppet rendition they had for the announcement, saying that they were working on a brand new Cuphead video game, and then announcing of the Cuphead 8-bit game. Grim, how about you? What did you think about the whole Cuphead stuff? I'm not a fan, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same way. Like, I like the art style of Cuphead, and I wish I was good enough at games to play Cuphead, but damn, Cuphead is hard as fuck. But I really like the look of the 8-bit game they showed.
Yeah, to throw back to the '80s arcade kind of style.
Yeah, it's an interesting take for Cuphead to go in, and it's good to know that they're making another major game.
Yeah. But now we can kind of get back more into the free talk about it. So, Graham, what were your some of your other highlights that you liked about the Summer Games Fest?
Yeah, for me, the most exciting thing here it's not really a surprise. It's sort of again one of those things people have been talking about, and it's sort of been in development hell. But it's The Wolf Among Us 2. I loved the first game. It was my favorite of the Telltale games. Really unique art style, really unique story. I love what they did with the and it's based off a comic book, right? So it's not like a wholly new thing. But yeah, I don't know. The Wolf Among Us is just really good. I like a good like story that sort of takes a twisted look at a fairy tale. I don't know. It's just a very enjoyable game. So I'm excited for us to finally see the story continue after over a decade now.
Yeah, I can't wait to finally get it, especially because Telltale, they were closed. They basically were thrown into limbo, and then Rob Kirkman, I believe, revitalized that studio. To be honest, the guy who did Invincible and The Walking Dead. And of course, his IP really put Telltale on the map as well, because they really got famous for Walking Dead Season 1, which is still one of arguably probably my top 10, maybe top 15 games of all time.
It's really good.
It's really great. So it is good to see like they're coming back in some way, shape, or form. And then what else you wanted to share out there too? What
Sure.
other major highlights list there?
Well, we're going to talk about it one way or another, but my number two was Final Fantasy VII Revelation.
Yes.
Um,
Really, really good one.
so, first off, a little bit of background on me. I am a
Love to
very
hear that
big
one.
Final Fantasy fan, but amongst Final Fantasy fans, I am the odd one out and being a something of a hater of Final Fantasy VII. I've infamously always said the story is not really anything special, or I don't know, whatever. But I always said that when they did the remake, I'm gonna go and play through the remake trilogy once they actually announce the third part and the release date. And it's like coming up soon. So in the lead up to this, I've recently, within like the last week, started playing a 7 remake, and I'm about a third of the way through the game right now. Really enjoying it. Um, Combat, I've got some issues with it. Like some enemies are a little bit too spongy. Some enemies don't have enough health. Um, but it's an interesting combat style. I prefer turn-based, but like I'm enjoying the action for what it is. I'm really enjoying it, and the character writing, like the not necessarily the story itself, but the character writing is really good. Um, like uh, I don't know if at this point you've seen a lot of character development, but just like getting to know each of the characters, and especially like characters that weren't really given the spotlight in the original game,
Hmm.
like Biggs and Wedge and um, what's her name,
Jesse.
Jesse, that weren't given any focus in the original game. To see those, just sort of expanding on these characters, they do a really good job with that. So I'm excited to get through this the trilogy and just in time for Revelation
Yeah.
and play it all back to back. Um, but the gameplay here looks really good. I like what I'm seeing here, the evolution of the gameplay from what I'm seeing right now.
Hmm.
Um, Also, as like I said, a big Final Fantasy fan just in general. Like what they're doing with the job system.
Yeah.
That's it's an interesting twist to throw on the in the third game. I'm excited to take on these giant weapon battles.
Mhm.
Ruby, Sapphire, Omega. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I got to address something on here. I played BTTF and got by Telltale. I don't know what that means, Brian. You want to redo that one so I can understand that one? But yeah, I was very happy to see this. I was a big fan of the PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Rebirth, I did enjoy a lot, to be honest with you, but I did feel that it was definitely bloated. What is one of my big complaints, especially because I wasn't a fan of a lot of the mini games, and I
Mm.
do feel like they really, really made it difficult to story progress because they would force you to play like a Queen's Blood tournament or something. I fucking hate Queen's Blood. I'm
That's
just gonna be
coming
honest.
back in Revelation. They confirmed it.
I
Um,
know, but I hope that they're not doing the level walling. You know what I mean?
yeah. Now, I just want to address like my 7 hate or whatever. Like, I'm not really, I don't really hate the game. I prefer other games in the series, and I was always salty about the
Mhm.
fact that 7 got so much more attention than other games that I thought were better, like 9 or 10.
Yeah. Our friend Brian here. Original game still had you care about them. The dropping of the sector slapped. He's talking about the original Final Fantasy VII.
The original 7, yeah, the original 7 was a good game, like for sure.
Yeah. I will say I'm excited about this one too. Our buddy Jason and our mutual friend Mr. Not Nerd Portal, Angry Canadian. We actually had to do an emergency podcast because my buddy Jason, huge Final Fantasy fan, huge Final Fantasy VII fan. So we had a fun little speculation and everything about that too. So, yeah.
You know. Other games I was excited for, I'm sure we're gonna wind up talking about it one way or the other. Stellar Blade, Blood Rain. Um, I really like the look of this hand-to-hand fighting. Like, you don't see a lot of action games where you're doing hand-to-hand fighting, so it's just a nice twist. There's been some controversy about the character having a baby face, but I mean, outside of the first hour I played of the original Stellar Blade, I never really paid attention to Eve anyway. I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Blood Rain. I know there's some gooners out there, like, hey, you gooners, I get you. That's your prerogative, but I mean, it's not something that I'm going to pay any attention to when I'm playing it. So
Yeah, the new Stellar Blade game, like, she does look young, like, but at the same time, you know, if you play any sort of anime game out there, you know, most of these protagonists are like 16 and 17 years old. So I'm not getting too worked up in arms about it. I'm a Persona fan. All right. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, you know, like the last three Persona games basically are nothing but teenagers in high school living their high school life and fighting the forces of God. Okay. So it doesn't. I understand some people's concerns, but I think that's just people kind of more getting up in arms about stuff.
I think also, like, there's just maybe people don't realize that Asian people in general look younger than Western people. They age more gracefully, I guess you could say.
Some of them do. Some of them age
Yeah,
pretty
some of them
quickly.
do. Some of them,
Especially the hard smoker, dock worker types. Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Well, it's also Koreans. You know, they love plastic
yeah,
surgery. You know, so
yeah, yeah.
that also plays into the factor there too. But you know what? I thought Stellar Blade, the first one, was very mid. This one actually
Mm.
makes me more excited. This one looks more fun. I'm sorry.
I kind of agree with you. This one looks like it's going to be more fast-paced action, whereas the first Stellar Blade was. It's not a Souls-like, but it has some Souls-like feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
This one feels closer to like a Platinum Games sort of style, and that is just from what little gameplay we saw. I don't know. It looks more visceral, more fast paced. I think the combat looks like it should be more fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what matters about these games, like the combat. The music's really good too.
No, everything looks pretty good in that one. I think that for me, like you said, the first game, it is not Souls-like, but to me, it is that Souls-like game where it has the stupid, I missed one attack, so I'm going to get bodied and lose 3/4 of my health bar. I know that they got a nice dodge and parry system. I'm okay with that one. I just wasn't a super big fan of it, especially because it also felt unresponsive at times for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I did appreciate one thing about Stellar Blade is that if you hadn't played it in a while, they had a training room mode where you could practice your parry and dodge and your timing before you got.
I did appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes, I did think that was one of the best things about Stellar Blade, and this new one definitely gives me more of that Devil May Cry feel, which I want. I want that God Hand. I want that Devil May Cry. I just want games like that. I love the over the top crazy power fantasy. I am just not into Souls games. I don't have the patience for them. The only one I could play that kind of fits that mold is Monster Hunter, and that's really it.
What up? We got And in the chat.
Ando says, yo, exhausting day, so nice to relax to this for a bit. What up, buddy? I hope you had a great day at work regardless. I'm glad it's over, and enjoy your weekend coming up, man. You know, it's hot. We had 17 tornadoes by me yesterday, Grim.
Man, my AC in my car went out this morning. I was driving into work and I realized I forgot my work bag, which got my laptop in it. So I had to turn around and drive home, and then my AC went out. I'm like, oh my god! And then I got in my car to go to go to lunch, and the thermometer on the car read 105 Fahrenheit. I'm like,
Oh,
oh my
Jesus.
god! I
Yeah.
was like, fuck.
No, I know
Yeah.
that feeling. When I had the last model of Eclipse that Mitsubishi made, and I was so broke at the time because I was young and dumb, and I was like, I like this car, not thinking about any of the consequences. I had to be like 21, and I was working a dead end job, so I couldn't afford to recharge the AC. So there would be times where it would just be a giant downpour, and I'd be so hot in the car I couldn't turn on anything to defog my windows. So I had to drive constantly wiping off. Oh, jeez, I know that feeling, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah.
right. What about you? I got a couple more, but
Yeah, a
what
couple.
else?
Let's hear your couple more. How many more you got? You said three, so you got two more right down.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got two more.
Let's hear the other two.
Yeah. So I got Star Wars Zero Company. I
Mm.
am a big fan of XCOM. XCOM 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Recently moved out of my top 10, but it's up there. And I don't know, anything that can give me just a taste of XCOM, because Firaxis sure as hell hasn't been doing it.
Mhm.
Like this game it's got a lot of promise. It looks like it's doing a lot of the same things that XCOM 2 did that made it so special. Um, I am just worried that they're going to focus too much on like new age Star Wars lore and not tell an original story. So I hope that it's a really original story, and it's not like trying to delve too deep into existing lore to tell some kind of story that fits the cinematic universe. I don't care about all that stuff. I want gameplay. But
Yeah. I do think that they chose the right setting with it being during the Clone Wars. I like that part of it right away. There will be a part in this trailer that I did like where you could. It looks like there will be a fun achievement or trophy I could see where you got to beat a level with nothing but astromech droids. I could see that being something that they put in there.
that
Um,
would be fun.
but this looks good. I mean, I like tactics games. Anytime I got a good tactics game, I'm gonna run out and get it. And I think overall for graphics, this looks pretty impressive. It looks really nice. On top of that, too, I do love that they basically said it's basically Suicide Squad, but Star Wars tactical version of it.
Hmm.
Because in the trailer, they basically say like it's everyone. We invite everyone, ex-separatists, droids, smugglers. It doesn't matter. We want them all out there. So it feels like there's going to be a lot of team comps that you can work with.
Hmm.
It does look like they have a Jedi storyline. Obviously, here they showed off Anakin Skywalker. So it feels like they are tapping into the popular side of what fans will play.
Hmm.
It doesn't feel like they're trying to overextend into. If to be honest with you, I'm going to say this right now. I think Disney gave up on their own trilogy and just said, "Let's go where the money is." you know.
I hope so. I hope so. Like, again, I'm not saying I don't want a story in this game. I don't want it to like I don't know. I don't want it to be the focus of the game. As long as the gameplay is good, the story can be whatever. If it's got a phenomenal story, that'll be great. Um, but I'm glad it seems like they've got like the right focus on customization, like you mentioned, with all the different types of characters you can play as.
Mm-hmm.
We saw like 3 or 4 different types of droids, different races.
Mm-hmm.
Some using blasters, some using lightsabers. Like it looks like a good mixture of customization, also character customization. They saw like trading out jackets and stuff. I hope that your characters are mostly no names. Like you can name them yourself, like in
Yeah.
XCOM, so you can get attached to your like little loser squad, and then they all die, and you get to be like, damn, and then do like a memorial for them. Like that was the best part of XCOM.
Yeah, it seems like Disney has really been going with the tactical genre a little bit more than most people, I would say, because they also had the Midnight Suns that was released like
Yeah,
3 or 4
that
years
was
ago.
for Axis. That was the original XCOM devs.
Yeah,
I say
so
original. I don't know if they did the originals, but they did the XCOM Enemy Unknown and XCOM 2.
yeah, so I think the original devs made Phoenix Point. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, Phoenix Point. That was like an XCOM like where you could free aim to do critical hits and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But
It was a
yeah,
cool game.
I am very excited about this game. I'm not the only one I know that's excited about it. A friend of ours, AC, he's also super excited about that as well, and he's been hammering the drum for the Zero Company. Also comes out August 27th, so get right before the real flood that is September. But it might as well
Mhm.
just be another September release because it's you know superficial, just the days differences.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, that's a good one there, Grim. I do agree with you. A lot of good games showed here. This is why I kind of gave it an A
yeah.
minus.
Yeah. Like again, like I said, I would have maybe scored this one a little bit higher. Like this one's for me really like a B plus.
Hmm.
But the probably the next one we talk about, I don't know what order we're gonna go in, but that one was just a little bit better for me personally, for my personal taste. But my fifth game, I said I had five here prepared to talk
Yep.
about.
No, that's fine.
1666 Amsterdam.
Oh, I am so glad you brought this up because there is an interesting story with that one. I don't know if you saw that.
I'll let you tell the story
Well, let's talk about the game
before you
first. Let's talk about the game.
ruin any interest that I've got in the game or something. Like it sounds like a bad kind of story.
It
I'm just
is, but not in the way you think it is.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll see. I'm just a sucker for anything witches, like witch games. Like
Hmm.
you sign me up. It's got some interesting looking Assassin's Creed adjacent gameplay from the one of the original creators of Assassin's Creed, doing sort of a unique sort of new IP, not shackled by Ubisoft. Um, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it, which is why this one's sort of lower down on the list. Um, it looks like it still needs a little bit more polish. Like the game looks a little bit rough around the edges from what we saw.
Yeah.
But I am still nevertheless interested. And yeah,
I will say this: it did get a demo put out there, and it is going into early access. Did you see
I
that?
downloaded the demo. I haven't played it.
I downloaded the demo too, and I haven't played it as well. But I haven't heard anything about this game. It kind of just popped up. There's a demo. It's going into early access, and everyone just kind of like quickly just disappeared like from the conversation. It was the Baja Men. It was who let the dogs out, and then gone.
Too many other hype games announced.
I also think it doesn't help too that this game is there was no real push behind it. I mean, you can tell the inspiration for it like looks pretty cool from like in terms of Assassin's Creed aesthetics. Like it does give you a lot of Assassin's Creed vibes in terms of just artwork, how they move and everything like that. The cat, not really feeling the cat part. I don't mind the witch part per se because like you said, I am very interested in witches, and I do like how I like the mystical side of stuff. I like the historical side, and I like the mystical side. And one of my favorite games, probably of all time, getting closer to that, Plague's Tale Requiem,
Hmm.
managed to do a little bit of both of that. So if this game can hit that same vibe of like, oh, here's some stuff for you historical virgins and all you black magic ghost hunter occult like people, like that'd be great. But what I'm going to bring up right now is this is what I saw here. Was a little bit of information here from I guess a YouTube streamer who does Assassin's Creed and stuff. He's a French streamer, so this is originally all in French. But it says here, you absolutely need to know how Ubisoft treated this man, creator of Assassin's Creed, like shit. In 2010, he started saying he wanted to slow down the pace with the AC games and that annualizing the franchise would harm the quality of the games. A few months later, he was pushed out and resigned. And then in 2011, he joined THQ, who set up a dedicated sub studio just for him and his stated And he started working on 1666 Amsterdam. Then after that, in 2013, Ubisoft bought THQ and specifically fired him while also
Wow.
keeping the rights of the game. And then in 2016, after 3 years of a fierce legal battle, they were able to get the rights to the game, and now we're seeing that happen today. So that was the story that crossed my thing, and
I did know part of that, but that's crazy.
yeah. So that's what caught me off guard. So it's like I'm glad you brought that up because I was looking for a perfect time to bring that up as well, because that crossed my news desk when that was announced, and I've been saving that for a while now.
Mm.
But yeah, that's for sure something I thought was very interesting. A little bit of lore that goes behind there. Talk about development hell. That was really in development hell for a very, very long time. But yeah, those are your top 5 from the Summer Games Fest.
Yeah. I could probably list out a couple more, but those were the ones that really stood out to me personally. I mean, I can get excited for announcements for, like Resident Evil, even though I'm not like a fan. Like I can get behind the hype. Um, but those were really the 5 that stood out to me for my personal tastes.
Sorry, I just had a message to respond to real quick there. Yeah, but a couple other things I wanted to point out there too before we move on. We had the world premiere of ex Naughty Dog and ex Infinity Ward devs Crossfire. That game looks very generic, and I'm not really feeling it. We got
Yeah.
our 3rd trailer in a row. It feels like for Control Resonant. I don't care. I'm going to play that game. I love Control. How about you? Did you like Control?
I never finished it. You'll find like with me, there's a lot of games that I play and then drop midway through. I got like to chapter 3, I think, or is it chapter? I don't know what they say in that game, but I got through the manufacturing area. It's been a while. It's a fun game. I enjoyed what I did play of it. I'm planning on going back and finishing it at some point.
Yeah.
It's an eternal backlog, you know.
Yeah, that's why we rebranded the channel name.
Yeah.
It feels better. Next up, we got the new IP from the famed Shadow of Colossus and Ico dev, Gen Atlas. Looked pretty good. It looks like Shadow of Colossus, but with guns. That's the best way I could say it. Also, we got the announcement of a new Virtual Fighter game, Virtual Fighter Crossroads, which feels more like a Yakuza game than an actual fighting game, which I thought was interesting.
I mean, this is RGG, so.
Yeah. And on top of that, too, we got the announcement that Tupac Shakur was going to be in Stranger of Heaven.
Stranger in Heaven.
So
some controversy on that one, but I'm excited.
I thought that was cool. I'm like, we haven't seen Tupac hologram in, it feels like almost 2 decades now. So we got to bring Tupac back in some way, shape, and form. Also, announcement of a new Saw game, a 3v1 Saw game. I have no interest in that, but that has a group somewhere, I bet.
It's Dead by Daylight fans.
Yeah. Also, the game that when it was first shown at the Game Awards, zero interest in. Now it's one of my most anticipated games and probably one of my favorite things to keep seeing about. Star Wars Galactic Racers.
Yeah, that one. I'm really excited for that. That's going to be fun to play with friends.
Yeah, and I love that there's a single player storyline. I love that they brought back Saboba as and pod racing. We looked a lot into that studio deep dive, ex Burnout devs, and you see the DNA of Burnout in those things when they crash a speeder or something into the walls. So I can't wait for that one. And a game that's slowly growing on me too that we didn't talk about but has been announced a few times now. Blood of the Dawnwalker. More stuff is coming out about that game. Published by Bandai Namco, so it's got some backing behind it. Former Witcher devs working on it. Looks really good. The more I keep seeing about this game, the more I get interested in it. They're doing a really, really good job. Ooh, I'm not going to do that one. Sorry. They're doing a really good job showcasing this game. And yeah, like I said, another game I had zero interest in, and it just keeps getting better and better the more I see of it. Also coming out September 3rd, so it's the first game really to break the dam of that September launch.
It looks like it's going to be tough competition to follow this one too. Like that Witcher pedigree is exciting. Something to keep in mind though is that I mean the Witcher games or CD Projekt games historically have been sort of buggy at launch. I don't know if that's going to carry over. Like you said, it's Bandai Namco, different studio.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the devs come over from that from CD Projekt, but this game looks really good. I I've been burned by CD Projekt enough times that anything that's got their name on it, even though it's not directly them, it's one of the directors. I'm a little cautious, you know.
I think it's also one of the writers too, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a couple people from CD Projekt. It's not just the one, but
Yeah,
uh,
but it just looks interesting and good.
it's got a lot of promise. Like this game could be like I don't know, like a mid low 90s Metacritic, or it could be like in the 70s. Like it could be anywhere in that range, and I'm just waiting to see. Everything we've seen so far looks good. We just have to see how it all comes together.
Yeah, like you're saying, this could be one of the surprise game of the year contenders, or it could be one of the many, many forgotten games that look cool in showing, but never lived up to any hype after that.
Yeah.
And Ando says here, only scummy thing with Control is doing a last second advertised early access for PlayStation only. Yeah, 48 hours early access.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not a fan of paying to get to paying a developer for early access on your console. That's a new low for Sony, but
It's a new low for Sony, or how desperate is Remedy for money?
I guess it is. It's got to be on. It's a little bit of both. Like Remedy probably does need the money. Like we've heard that neither Control nor Alan Wake 2 sold what they wanted it to. Like they can never seem to actually have like a hit. Also, like they're a pretty big studio and their games are expensive to make, so they need to have big numbers in order to succeed. So I can kind of get why they're doing it from their end, but like PlayStation doesn't need early access for this game. Most players were gonna buy it on PlayStation anyway.
Yeah.
It seems it's almost like I have my issues with PlayStation, but this seems almost like a monopolistic sort of practice by PlayStation, like trying to turn their 50% into 70%. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No, I hate it too. Even though I'm a huge Control fan, so I don't know. I'm still buying this. I'm gonna play it on Xbox. I don't fucking care about the 48 hours. But I almost feel like I should, because the next day Onimusha comes out. So I'm just maybe I should pay for that extra.
Yeah.
So I can
See where you're at in your backlog battle. You know?
Never ending, never ending. Like I told you, 13 bins of physical media, and I still haven't put all of it away. So it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, overall, like I said, great showcase, great energy, good opener. There were some down parts, but every show has its down parts because not everything at the show is going to be for you. Let's just be honest. But yeah, I was a lot more higher on it because I also think too the last few Summer Games Fest have been so ass that to see them kind of put up something that I would say honestly was probably the best I've seen in years from them also kind of inflated that grade just on the like, hey, you did good, kid. I'll give you a little extra bonus for this one,
Yeah.
It's like when you see a failing student and he comes in and he starts putting in the work and his grade raises, it's like I'll give you a little extra on this paper, but that's it. So
Yeah.
okay. Next up, we're just gonna go in order here, and we're gonna do the Xbox Showcase. All right.
Yeah.
So, what did you grade the Xbox Showcase?
So Xbox Game Showcase, I sort of alluded to this earlier, but if it wasn't going to be the Summer Games Fest, it was either going to be this or Nintendo. This one I give a 9 out of 10, and this is again, a lot of it's going to come down to personal preference for what kind of games you like.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see how this would be an 8 out of 10 for some people. It could be a 10 out of 10 for some people, but for me, it's a 9 out of 10. Started off incredibly strong with a back-to-back showing, burger, shake, and fries. You got your Gears, followed by Halo, followed by Fable, back to back to back, and they all look good, which is good. Um, Not super interested in Gears or Halo. I mean, I'll probably pick up Halo, and the new missions look good, but the Fable really stood out to me. And then I'm a huge RPG fan, so we'll talk about specific games here in a minute. But there were some JRPGs in there that I'm really excited for, and you're really excited for.
Mm-hmm.
Clockwork Revolution and continues to look incredible.
Oh
There was a
God,
couple
yeah.
of new announcements in here, or new showings of games in here
Mm-hmm.
that were surprises that I was really excited for. So it was everything was great except towards the middle half is sort of slowed down when you got the Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, Sea of Thieves. I could not care less about any of those games, and then you end with Call of Duty. I don't know what they were thinking there, but
I
other than that,
understand that
like
though. I
there's
kind of understand
there's
that.
there's some flaws with it. That's why I can't give it a 10 out of 10. And like if they had ended with like a tease of the Elder Scrolls 6, like we saw some gameplay, it could have been a 10 out of 10 for me.
Mm-hmm.
But this was for me probably Xbox's strongest showing ever for me personally.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I know that you just said that you're not feeling Gears as much. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I like Gears of War. I would say I'm a Gears fan, not a super fan like some people. I've not read the books. I'm more of a Halo guy in that aspect. But I could not believe what I was seeing. The graphics, the new animations, the new cover system. I was like, this is probably the first Unreal 5 game that I've seen that looks, like next gen, like something that you want to go out and upgrade your graphics card for and everything else like that.
Yeah.
I was absolutely blown away. At first, I was kind of taken aback because Marcus does not look like he's this thick and roided up.
Yeah.
But
He's younger.
yeah, but it grew on me so much. The cover system hiding in like they got big cover, tiny cover, sliding, verticality. The weapons look great. I love the new active reload system and the graphics themselves. This is probably like the best looking Gears game. Probably, if not probably the best looking, third person shooter I've probably seen to date. You know, Probably getting rivaled by maybe Soros, but even Soros is not really like my cup of
No,
tea.
this game definitely looks better than Saros.
Mm.
The animation quality I noticed was especially really good. When that train came down, I was like, "Damn, that's real."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It looks well made. Like what I saw was impressive. I'm not. I don't like third person shooters in general.
Hmm.
Um, they never really worked for me. I guess like the Saints Row games were the only third person shooters I liked.
It's not really even a third person shooter though. It's more of a
Yeah, I mean, the first two games were pretty serious, but I mean,
well, yeah, I had Keith David as like the gang leader, and then in the fourth game they got Keith David as Keith David, which I still love. By the way, I still love
yeah,
that joke, Vice President Keith David. That's like the fucking best thing ever in video
I
games.
love those first four games were all really good. Even Get Out of Hell had its charm to it.
Yeah, but I will say, opening show Gears E-Day I thought was an interesting choice, but it fucking did put the foot forward really well.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you on that one. And I am with you on that one with the Fable and the Halos. It's showing off.
Like just back to back to back. It was a really good show.
I will say this. This was the most expensive showcase for me. Because after the show, they announced all the collector's editions.
Yeah, me too, man. Fuck the Fable. Like, oh no, I got to get the Jack of Blades.
I know we'll talk about it in a second, but I got every collector's edition. I got the Halo one, I got the Gears one, I got the Fable one, and I was pissed because I missed the Halo Xbox copy, so I had to buy the Steam one. And then I was kind of tracking it throughout the day, the Fable one. I was like, oh, it's not sold out. I should be able to get the Xbox copy. Like, right after that, I checked again. The Xbox copy was out again. So I'm like, fuck me. So I had to buy the Steam copy again for the Fable. And then I had to order those games separately because, what's the point of having a Steelbook if you can't put a disc inside of it? Yeah. So I had to order the disc. So I'm thinking about either selling those to a buddy of mine just to recoup the cost and just do a lateral trade, or maybe just when I do an unboxing, just give them away.
Which one did you have extras of?
I got Steam codes for the Halo and the Fable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I said when I do the unboxing, I might just do those codes away because I ordered the discs, so that's what I'm still figuring out there. But they also did announce in the same showcase as well, which I did get the collector's edition for Persona 4 Revival, which I got the collector's edition for that. So we're
I almost missed out, and we were chatting the other day, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's up for sale." I was waiting for it to go up for sale, and you're like, "Oh, it's available now." I'm like, "Oh no!" I'm like told everyone, I'm like, "Hey, it's up for sale. Go get it now."
Oh yeah, I'm always willing to help other addicts get their addiction filled. But like it was the same thing with another thing. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, just this showcase alone, 2, 4, 3, almost $1,000 in collector's editions I pre-ordered.
Yeah, I just did Fable and Persona 4, but I guess now we've mentioned Persona. I guess we can get right into it. So
yeah, what are your top 5 from this event?
Top 5, starting from number 1, Persona 6.
Ooh.
Now, I thought about how to order this list, and I wound up with Persona 4 just leaving as an honorable mention. But I kind of actually want to start the conversation with Persona 4.
Okay, let's do.
Even though it technically didn't make it on my list, it's like an honorable mention. But Persona 4 Revival just looks incredible. The UI Atlas just cannot be stopped. I love the battle transitions as they're switching from one character to another. They're bringing back a baton pass. Mm-hmm. The new all-out battle mechanic, just like artistically, graphically, looks incredible. The little 2D little cutouts of the characters that you saw there when they're in dialogue, they look like very faithful to the original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like how with both this and with Persona 3 Reload that even though they kept the original sort of generic metaverse enemies, mm-hmm. they really sort of try and make both the metaverse and the enemies really stand out and look graphically more impressive.
Yeah.
Just visually, this game's a stunner. Like from an art style perspective, it's just eye candy.
Yeah, and I do love that they chose to remaster the Persona 4 Golden Edition, which was mm-hmm. everyone's kind of, they weren't 100% on, but I'm happy that they went that route. Like I said, these games are great.
Look at this cutscene. Like, look at her face there. Like, geez. Like, the fucking shadows under the eyes. Like, I don't know. They're really, and look at that animation. Look at that
animation. Yeah,
like,
all that stuff looks great.
It just looks so good.
This looks better than both Reloaded and Royal. All right,
yeah.
And those are great looking games. This is your preview of Persona 6 right here. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what this is.
you got a little bit of a preview of probably what Persona 6 is going to look like from like the royal content, the third semester in Persona 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just fucking beautiful, and I'm glad it's not coming this year. I don't have the time to fit it in, but very excited for this one.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't wait. There's just so much about this one that I like, because I played all the Personas. I kind of came late to the game. I started with Persona 5 and quickly started to become a fan afterwards. But Persona 4 has, I think, the best cast of characters.
Definitely the best cast.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think like if you were to go through each of the games, you'd say 3 has like the best story, like the best actual narrative, and 4 has the best cast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and 5 is like it just maybe the best overall, well-rounded.
Yeah.
It has a very good story. It has a good cast of characters. It has more modern gameplay. The dungeons are well designed
Mm-hmm.
compared to 3 and 4, which the dungeons are it's basically random generated. Um, I love that each one has its own strength and they all stand apart. And even going back further, if you go to like Persona 2, like you can argue that the Persona 2 duology has a better story than 3. Um,
I've been trying to get into 2. The 2 is so drastically different because it's one of those games where after each battle you heal up automatically, which is weird.
yeah. Well, talking about 2 and sort of the sort of tone change of 2, that sort of transitions us well into Persona 6, which Persona 6 we didn't see any gameplay.
We saw
We
really
didn't
nothing.
see
Let's just
we
be
didn't see
honest.
really much of anything. What we did see was a tone setting or a tone piece. We saw a very slow, dramatic zoom in with like the sound of like a thunderstorm and like some muffled background noises as we zoom in on a graveyard, and it turns green and it looks like almost like a zombie hand reaching up from the grave towards the statue.
Yeah,
um,
it was so weird. I thought it was like, is this Devil Summoner or something? Or Shimigami Tensei? It didn't feel like a Persona vibe that I was trying to give
yeah,
off. It
so
definitely felt Atlas more than Persona.
yeah, I really dig this darker tone. I understand that there's some frustration from some of the fans, like, hey, I want to see like actual gameplay, show me the actual game. But at the same time, they're trying to sell Persona 4 Revival, so they don't want to like kneecap that game and be like, I'm
No.
just going to wait for Persona 6.
Yeah.
Um, so they didn't put a date on this or anything, which is, again, for Persona 4 Revival, better for that game. I can kind of understand that. This flashing text on the screen with all these like weird stuff. It says, "Who are you?" Um, there's definitely a sort of a paranormal. This almost gives like an ectoplasm sort of vibe.
Yeah,
To
that's
the
what I was
screen.
thinking.
There's definitely a paranormal vibe to this one. And then
Like
if you haven't seen, there's been some leaks
I
about
saw
Persona 6.
some, but I've been hiding from those.
Yeah, probably best to not look into the leaks and let Atlas do their own PR. I think it's the better way to get excited about the game personally.
Yeah,
But
I kind of feel like instead of a high school setting, maybe that it's going to be like a ghost hunting club, and that's how it's going to kind of take off. That's my personal fanfic.
yeah, I won't say anything that's in the leaks. So um, yeah, the thing though about Persona 6 here is just we know it's going to be a darker game, darker than Persona 5, which wasn't necessarily a bright and jolly game, but it was definitely less serious than some of the older games. And Persona 4, which is like very bright. The
Very bright and
tone,
very dark at the same time. That's the funny part about it.
that's true. That's true. Yeah. But I would say the tone for this one sits closer to somewhere between the Persona 2 duology and Persona 3. So I'm excited for a darker take on Persona, especially with how popularized and sort of mainstream Persona 5 has become with like Smash Brothers and everything,
Hmm.
the anime and just
The
all the
Weekend, the
cosplay and
fucking
everything.
Weekend is like playing Persona now.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not that I'm like old man shaking his fist at the clouds or anything. I just like the direction for after this super popular game. Now we're gonna go really dark and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know for sure that that's what they're doing. Maybe it's just like ectoplasm ghosts, and it's like maybe it's like Ghostbusters, and it's not serious at all.
It's the real Ghostbusters, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? But yeah, this
It goes
was
Yokai Watch. That's how it goes.
of everything across the entirety of uh, all of the different showcases. This was the most exciting announcement for me. Even though it leaked, just seeing that sort of darker tone is just really exciting for me.
Yeah, I feel you, but I need to see more before I get super excited. I don't really get super hyped for teasers beyond, oh, that's nice. I'm happy that it's coming and it's real.
I agree with you generally, but this is like there's a handful of games like I could name on one hand like if a game is announced from one of these, I'm gonna get excited no matter what. So you got Persona, you got Elder Scrolls, you got Shock or just Ken Levine games, so like Judas, anything Final Fantasy 14 related. That's one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Like those four, if anything from those four shows up, I'm instantly excited. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, no,
But
I agree with you on that one to an extent. But I'm just like I said, I get excited, but I'm just like, show me more. I just want to see more. Show me the story concept. I'm happy it exists, but I want to see the story content before I go and see
yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. Like definitely, I'm more of a skeptical gamer for the most part.
Mhm.
This just happens to be like one of my like this one sets me off. It's like yes, doesn't matter what they show. I want to see everything. Uh, yeah, I can go through some more if you want to talk about a game.
No, I like to get through yours first, and then I pick off the ones that we missed if I find interesting.
Sure. Second one for me is Clockwork Revolution.
Yes.
This is a game that I continue to be excited for. Until recently, this was my most anticipated upcoming game. That's been overtaken by I mentioned Final Fantasy 14 earlier, the new expansion for 14, Evercold.
Mm-hmm.
But this is still like up there at the top for me. Like this is the most anticipated game of the year for me for sure. Or I guess it's next year, right? Yeah.
It's they're letting it cook. I gotta say this, like you and like three other people I know, really are excited about this game. This is like their most anticipated, like non-continuation game, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And like you keep saying, it just hits like so many different like.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna hit everything. Like if you like Dishonored, if you like real RPGs, if you like unique gameplay, it looks like In Exile is really creating a magnet opus right here.
Yeah. The thing that really did it for me wasn't even this trailer. It was after the showcase. Like I think it was yesterday. Carnage is a pretty popular Twitch streamer. Put out a tweet. He's like, In Exile shared this clip with me to share with you guys, and so basically the main character gets caught for stealing something and somehow triggers a trap that sticks him in an alley where the police are supposed to come and pick him up the next day or something. So you're stuck in this alleyway, but there's another thief who's also in there, and he's like, oh shit, we're stuck in here together, and he's like. But we can get up if we can climb up over there. Here, I'll lift you up and you climb over the ledge, but you gotta help me up as well. And the main character asks him, "What'd you get caught in here for? What'd you steal?" He's like, "Well, I stole this gadget." And so you can find out what he's got. And you're like, "Okay, let's climb up here." And he helps you up, and you turn around, and you have three options. You have one is help him up. Two is, haha, sucker, I can't believe you fell for that. And a three is toss up the bag. It'll make it easier for me to help you up. And so you can then do a speech check to convince him to toss the bag up with the thing he stole, the invention or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take that, and then you have now two options. You can help him up, or you can be like, you're an idiot. You just gave that to me. And so he chooses the option to just turn around and leave. He's like, you motherfucker. And so just the choice in this game, just choices and the consequences and the different timelines, the RPG mechanics, like the gunplay looks very BioShock. Like it's basic enough. It doesn't look like it's doing like top of the line. It's very much more immersive sim.
Mm-hmm.
But like this looks incredible. It's like anyone who's a fan of, like you said, Dishonored, BioShock, like or just RPGs. Like if you like the Outer Worlds, this seems like the perfect mix of those kind of games. And also, I just love steampunk, so
Yeah.
very excited for this game.
Like I said, the more they show of this one, it just looks better and better every time. And I feel like this is going to be one of those games where you just replay it over and over and over again. So for people who like replayability and to like justify their, their buck, it does feel like this is, the game. And also it coming to be just on the Xbox console and PC as well. I
was
think
gonna say, should we discuss that, since we already talked about Gears and now we're talking about Clockwork Revolution? You want to open up that exclusivity conversation?
I feel like we could save that to the end when we get our closing
Save that
thoughts
for the
on
end.
it. Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
We got some more games to get through. We're only on number 2, so
Yeah. Number 3, very much in the same vein. This was a new game. This was a surprise. But like, if Clockwork Revolution hadn't been here or had never been announced, and this was like revealed out of nowhere, this would have like shot straight to the top for my most anticipated games. And that is Magicians: The Devil's Deal.
yes, I agree 100% with you. This is
this again. This is
great.
another game right in the vein of a BioShock. Very inventive, very unique idea. Like just BioShock, but instead you're a magician, and you're doing magician card tricks, and you're using your magician's wand, and like it's just an incredible concept. Like if you had told me, if you had wiped the name off the game and called it BioShock 3, I would have been like, yep, that checks out.
Yeah, I feel like you hit the nail on the head. Sorry to cut you off, but I think you hit the nail on the head here. It is such a interesting and unique concept here of just old timey, Harry Houdini like era magician type of stuff, where it's like, okay, you're battling people with like an old timey magician's wand. You got the old, card tricks as like the fight. I've been joking about this, and I'm saying I even joined the Discord server because they announced the Discord server. And I asked them, I was like, could you just do the magic trick of like the rabbit out of your hat, and it's just like the rabbit from Monty Python's Holy Grail, and you just like rip people's heads off with just throwing a rabbit at them? Like, please, for the love of God, if anyone's out there, just spam them. That's what you want. It writes itself. It writes itself. But go on, give your more thoughts.
And on the art style, like just looking at this right now, like it's like a Sea of Thieves almost, like
a cell shade. Yeah,
I really like the style.
I like this devil though, man. He looks awesome.
Yeah,
but like we see some like concept of what the gameplay is going to be.
And this looks like you think this is concept, but then they cut to gameplay here in a second.
Yeah,
and it looks very similar.
But this game caught me so off guard that I was just like, whoa. And my buddy Nerd Takes here in the chat, he watched the Xbox showcase with me, and we were absolutely
here's gameplay.
Yeah,
like,
we were
look at this.
Stunned. Like, I love that the flipping of the thing. It just looks great. I love paranormal stuff, and this is always up my alley.
Yeah, this one's immediately like jumped to the top of my most anticipated games. Like, damn, this came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I can't wait to do it. I know this is coming day one Game Pass, so that will help it. It definitely secured a bag to get it published a lot easier, which I love about Game Pass for that very reason. But I'm buying this day one because I'm just like I am so sold on this concept. Even if it's not 100% great, like I want to support this dev's idea because it's such a unique
Yeah.
idea. And like I said, if they fucking put that rabbit hat trick in the game, it's my game of the year already, and I'm gonna take all the credit for it. It was my idea, and I will just, you know. But I'm so happy you brought that up because I'm like, if you don't bring this up, I'm gonna bring it up.
No, absolutely. There's no way I don't bring that up after talking about how good Clockwork Revolution looks like. Us Bioshock fans, we might not have Bioshock 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
We might not have Judas, but we're eating good, damn it.
There's so many great looking games, and you know, it's just like I've said this on the show. It's like when people go like, "There's nothing to play," the gaming industry sucks. I just go like, "Did you see this Magicians game that's coming out?"
Yeah.
And you saw that and you said boring, uneventful. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like they watched Jeff Keighley's show and then they stopped there. Or they watched Jeff Keighley's show and then one of either the PlayStation or Nintendo show and stopped there.
Yeah.
And they didn't watch the PC gaming show. They didn't watch the Future Games show. They didn't watch any of the indie showcases, which there's a lot of good games hidden in some of those too. I'll do like when we have a little bit of time here at the end, I'll just run through some of the games to look out for. But
yeah,
there's a lot of indies that people are just sleeping on that are looking incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good-looking indies even at this event too. That I was like, "Oh, really? That game looks fun and interesting."
Yeah, that Vivarium game. It's not on my list, so I guess now's a good time to mention it.
Yeah,
it's like that Studio Ghibli, like the art style.
This is a game that I already showed my wife and told her that she has no choice but to play and check it out. So I'm bringing it up right now, but. Yeah, it looks so interesting. So 1980s anime inspired. It feels like a PS1 game as well. Like it's just giving me a lot of PS1 game vibes and then also like 1980s, early 90s anime vibes. I love just how far the gaming industry has come where like I believe this is just like a super small studio can just pump out something like this,
Yeah.
Like this used to be like a $multi-million project with like a dedicated art studio of like probably like 70 people.
Yeah, man, this art style is just incredible to look at.
I like it very much too, and it's just like this is not a game that I personally would play. But it is it falls into the category of games my wife would play, and she saw it and she's like, well, I like how that looks. And her follow up thing is like, you're gonna force me to play this, aren't you? I'm like, it.
Yeah, same thing. My girlfriend was interested in the art style on this one. I'm like, yep.
Also, day one to Game Pass as well. So very, very.
I think everything in the showcase was day one Game Pass except Call of Duty.
I think there was a couple things that weren't because they were DLCs too.
I think even some of the DLCs were said day one.
No, I don't. No DLCs are Game Pass. I know.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the free update.
Free updates,
yeah. For Sea of Thieves it said day one on Game Pass. I'm like, why would you say that? Everybody knows this game's on Game Pass.
Yeah, custom seas, which is interesting. I like Sea of Thieves, but I don't have friends to play with me, so I have no interest in.
Yeah, I wish they would take these updates and like do them in a pre-show. Like, I don't mind them being part of the showcase, but do it as a pre-show thing.
Like the middle part where it's like, okay, here's Elder Scrolls Online, here's Fallout 76.
I saw some people getting really upset online, like Twitter people. Twitter people.
Yeah, they're great.
X. But like people getting upset, it's like every time the Bethesda logo shows up, they're like, Oh my god, it's gonna be Fallout. Also, as a longtime Bethesda fan, like these Fallout fans are fucking insufferable. I'm a huge Fallout fan. One of my favorite franchises. But like, guys, we haven't had the Elder Scrolls since 2011. Shut up about Fallout. Like, oh my god. Like, okay, but I want a Fallout 2. If Fallout 5 shows up or Fallout 3 remastered, I would be screaming from the rooftops. So
Listen, I
hypocrite, but like,
well, I was the asshole, and I was every time I saw Bethesda, I'm like, Fallout 3 remastered. Oh, you know,
that's not true. You know what? We did have Oblivion remake remastered, so
yeah, that came out of fucking nowhere, by the way.
yeah, that was good too. I 100%ed that one.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah. So going back to my list, number 4.
Did we do
Fable.
number 3?
3 was the Magicians.
Okay,
The Devil's Deal.
I thought it was 2.
Persona 6, Clockwork Revolution, Magicians, The Devil's Deal, and number 4 is Fable.
Yes.
I love the darker tone of this trailer. And then I don't know if you've seen it, but they put out like a 30-minute gameplay demo as well.
Yes.
Like just going in town and doing Fable shit. I'm like, yes, it's Fable. It's a Fable game.
Let me pull up that. Then we can play.
Yeah, that's probably more interesting to throw on in the background actually. But the trailer, if you haven't seen the trailer, it sets up a villain for us. A hero who's turned to the dark side, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we'll get to work with her, if we like do an evil playthrough, or if like we're just set against her no matter what.
I feel like what we're seeing from here is like a lot of stuff with Fable's morality. I know that there's a few people I know personally that are very upset that it's not just pure straight up, oh, you're evil or oh, you're good. But they have more of a in-depth, nuanced morality system of like that stuff.
I like the direction they're taking it. I think with the reboot, it's the right time to change up and do something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
There were mechanics in the original Fable games that were just a little too simplistic, and the morality system was one of those. Now, one thing that I did like about the morality system in the original Fable games that I'm sad is not here is you don't have the sort of transmogrifying of your like facial features. Like you don't get horns or a halo, or you don't get tattoos if you use a lot of magic. Yeah. I wonder if you'll be able to get fat. Like if you ate a lot of food in the older Fable games, you would get fat.
I don't
think you'll have that, but
I also want to say maybe they also are kind of keeping a lot of that stuff under wraps. Or
no, they've told us in interviews that we're not getting that stuff.
Yeah, but sometimes they lie. That's another thing I always like to point out. Sometimes they lie.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
But
what we see here in this gameplay is like 10 out of 10. This is Fable. This is like shit you would do in Fable 2, Fable 3.
Mm-hmm.
Go into town, talk to an NPC, try and flirt with them, give them a gift, go buy a house. You can go buy all of the houses.
Buy all the houses. That's so great. You're right. Yes. That is the best part about it. You can be just like fucking Scrooge McDuck and just own the entire town and just tell them all off.
And they'll judge you for it too. They'll be like, oh, fucking landlord over here.
I know. I love that too, because in the trailer, in this 30-minute showcase they have here, it's like with like the dating system, you buy the bar, and the main bartender, she's like, oh, hey there. And then like you just go and try to impress this other shopkeeper. I've seen people on Twitter go like, I forget the girl's name, but it's like justice for that barkeeper. She was there for us, But we had to fucking buy fancy clothes and do all these hoops to just get like the most mid woman in Silverbrook.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, this is gonna be a great game, dude.
I like that they confirmed as well. You can marry everyone. It'll just be tricky.
I love that too. That was like one of the best part about Fables was multiple women and husband and wives in different towns. I was like, oh, they know what they want with that, and I was happy that they're bringing that back.
when I was like 10 or 12 or whatever, whenever I was playing Fable 2 or 3, I don't remember which one it was at the time. My favorite thing, because I was a little kid, I was like, ooh, I'm going to go to the Dark Town and I'm going to go marry all the courtesans. Yeah, I would. Oh man, I would get all the STDs. Like fuck.
Let's go, baby. You just see like your STD counter. Like, how the fuck do I have so many?
Yeah.
I like this one though. This little quest they're showing off about Colin the pig, and I feel like this is a great quick introduction to it. So even if you do like the good action to save the pig, like the NPC will override you still, and they can still fucking kill the pig. You know?
Yeah.
So
I like that you can buy them off of him. This is like it's a good demonstration of, because there was very limited choices in the original Fable games. You could make choices, and they did have impacts, but you didn't have like a lot of options about how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And here it looks like they're giving you more options for how to go about solving a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I'm not expecting anything on the level of like Clockwork Revolution, but I like that you have actual dialogue options and choices. It's closer to what you expect from like a Mass Effect or something along those lines, where people, or like Baldur's Gate, where people are looking for like real, actual, meaningful choices and consequences.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you on that one. It just does look like an evolution of what Fable should have been, instead of going from Fable to Fable 2 and then to Fable 2 to Fable 3, where everything just feels half-assed and rushed and a lie, to put it nicely for Mr. Peter Molyneux. Also, quick plug, go watch that episode of Legacy Loading with Cream and me when we first discovered that Peter Molyneux has always just been a giant piece of shit.
That's a good episode.
It's a great episode. But overall, I can't wait to just play this game. I'm going to be lost in this game for hours, and I know you're going to agree with me. You're just going to be going around trying to buy all the houses,
buy every fucking building, like
just
everything I can. Every little alley cart, like they're selling fish on the bridge. I'm buying that shit.
Exactly. It's like I'm going to be the best bar owner because I will be the only bar owner. There's no other option.
I gotta dress up my character like he's in Clockwork Revolution. Like get the top hat and the like stupid looking mustache.
Oh,
and then own everything.
Yeah. I want the Chester A. Arthur fucking side shops.
Yes.
I want those. I know that they're bringing the chicken suit as well, and I probably will just wear that the entire time and not give a fuck, because it'll be great to just see this, mongoloid looking character I'm gonna make that's just dressed up in a chicken suit, just talking to everyone. Oh, he's a little bit of a touched hero, he is. Yes, he is.
That's another thing. They did you got some good like this right here. Hey hero, I got a quest for you in my bedroom.
I do like
I love the Fable like NPC like just barks like when they yell something at you.
I do want to say this before I throw it back to you. I like how the feel of this game is going to be. I know a lot of people have been kind of worried because I guess they're going to be doing like office style humor. That's what they've made a point about. So I guess there's going to be a lot of cutaways as well in this game. How do you feel about that?
Well, first off, they confirmed during this 30-minute presentation, if we're talking over it right now, but there's a lot of good sort of narration from like one of the developers or whatever.
Two developers,
yeah. So they discussed that. They mentioned that. They said, I think they said something like there's 2 hours of these cut scenes that you've seen in our previous presentations, and those will be in the game, but everything here, all of this dialogue and the humor and the when we had that conversation about the pig, That is not a cutscene. That is in engine happening, like in the real time.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you can get humor in those settings as well. So,
Yeah.
And we saw it a little bit with like people making, like somebody said, "Come to my bedroom, hero," or whatever. Like you'll still get some of that that other humor. It's not all going to be highly produced office sort of cutbacks back and forth. I'm not a huge fan of that style in general, but I think from what I'm seeing here, this gameplay, like more than anything I've seen of this game so far, this 30-minute demonstration here, like really sold me on the game.
I do agree with you. I thought that the humor was going to be more so in like cutscenes and not like inside of the game. So I never got really, wrapped up into that, like worried about the humor. But yeah, everything looks like it's Fable. I mean, they started the biggest like tell to me is the people who use that really ugly Fable girl as like we're owning the libs, like meme that goes around. To me, that's like the biggest tell of people who didn't watch the trailer and just saw the ugly face and ran with it. Because right away, they that trailer starts out where they're talking about how heroes look very cute, like handsome and beautiful, and then they just quickly cut over to that ugly face, and you hear the crowd audibly gasp and go, "Ugh!" It's like it's like from that first trailer, I'm like, oh, they know the assignment,
Yeah, like I don't. People were always like being stupid about that because it's a modern RPG. It's going to have a character creator. Like Fable 3 lets you do some basic customization of your character. Like there's no way that a modern RPG is not going to have some character customization. Also, our like normal ass white guy here, he looks fine. Like there you go.
Yeah, I know.
Confirmed. You don't have to play that half black woman. Like
I just want to say, it's like, are you living life if you don't make your guy look like a mongoloid? All right, come on, let's just be honest here. Like, he's got some genetic defects. Come on.
My character in Fallout 3 had blue skin. He had a beak for a nose, and his cheeks stuck out of his face unnaturally. His name, his name, I generated by pulling up a book and picking 3 random words from the book. So his name was Real Heap of Chickens.
It really sounds like you made an anti-Semitic trope there. That's what it sounds like.
I just took all the I took all the sliders to the extreme.
That's what it sounds like. It's like, what would an anti-Semite make a Jew? That's what you were looking at there. But all kidding aside,
yeah, Ando, you got to make a freak. You gotta.
Yeah, you got to play as a freak. Like one of the best things ever was the Pimp My Shepherd website, where everyone was just giving codes for Commander Shepherds, and like everyone, one of the top downloaded was Michael Jackson, female Shepherd. That was great, but no. This game looks like it's going to hit all the tones. It's going to hit the lighthearted tones. It's going to hit the dark tones. They are bringing back. I don't know if they're demon doors necessarily. They don't look like it.
It was a demon door in the trailer. It looks like the classic demon doors. It was making fun of him for his outfit or something.
Yeah, it's like you look like a twat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck you too, buddy.
Yeah. It's a classic demon door. Yeah, you have to go back to the trailer to look at it. But
I know, but it didn't feel like a demon door. I feel like they're trying something new with them. But you're right. It is technically, I guess, still a demon door.
Well, we haven't seen the dialogue. Like you have to walk up and talk to it and do dialogue to figure out what they're trying to make you do.
Yeah, your cat agrees.
Yeah, he's a noisy boy.
No, it's fine.
He just had his 10 o'clock meal and he's not satisfied, so he wants more.
He's like, I'm starving, father.
That's literally him all the time.
No, but
he's a fat cat, so I put him on an auto feeder.
But yeah, no, this game does feel like it's going to hit all the right points. Obviously, it does feel like it's hitting the humor points. They've said that every one of your decisions will affect the environment as you go on. So they did spoil this one though, but there's like a giant in this game too,
Yeah, that was in
and
like the first trailer, I think.
yeah,
You
and
can see his beanstalk in the background there.
I know. So it's like your decisions will hold up, and like I said, kind of like with Clockwork Revolution, multiple playthroughs, and this game does feel like it's going to give you multiple playthroughs. And the big surprise, Jack of Blades. Just
Yeah.
they just threw him in there at the end, and I'm like, what the fuck, Jack of Blades?
Yeah. What are they doing here? I was a little disappointed, if I'm being honest, about Jack of Blades because I was like, damn, that means they're not doing something new. But I don't know. I'll give them benefit of the doubt. We'll see what they do with it. I just feel like as a longtime Fable fan, like Jack of Blades is kind of played out. But we'll see what they do. We'll see what they do.
I feel like, well, Jack of Blades, isn't he like an immortal kind of character, you know?
Yeah, yeah. They go into his backstory in Fable: The Lost Chapters.
Yeah, so I feel like I I do feel like ACG said this about Dragon Age, and I'm gonna say this about Fable as well. Fable feels like a franchise everybody loves, but they only played the first game and they couldn't tell you nothing about the other two.
I don't know. I mean, I played all three. Well, I say all three. I played the three actual games. I didn't play the Connect game.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying though. It's kind of like Dragon Age. We played these games.
Yeah,
But it does feel like a lot of the nostalgia is people who only remember the very first game.
I feel
And
like there's a lot of nostalgia for Fable 2. I feel like people don't appreciate Fable 3 for what it did. There's a lot of flaws with that game, to be fair.
yeah, I feel that's one of the games I ever felt I got scammed by.
This game definitely feels to me like Fable 2, not Fable 1.
I do agree with you on this one. This feels like this should have been what Fable 2 should have been.
Well, I mean, Fable 2 came out like Fable 2 was a big upgrade from Fable 1 in
Yeah,
a lot of ways.
but I didn't like it as much though. I didn't like the setting. I didn't like that they added guns. I like they added a dog, but who gets
Yeah.
mad about that? You know.
Oh, I see. I'm seeing right now because it's where it's at right now. There's some currencies in the top right corner. I'm curious what that's about.
I feel like those are upgrades. That's what it looks like to me.
Blue, purple, green,
Yeah, will,
maybe
skill, and what
in
the other one was, I forget.
magic. Magic. No,
Well,
that's will.
yeah,
That's
that's will.
strength,
Strength,
physique,
yeah. Physique. There you
physique. All right. On to the next game.
go. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing this.
My number 5 from the Xbox Showcase, and I've also got honorable mentions on top of this. Like I said, this was my favorite of the showcases. Spyro: A Realm Beyond.
The most anticipated game in terms of raw views, by the way.
Really,
11 million views for the Spyro trailer.
I'm not surprised. Like a lot of these Activision IP have like huge classic fan bases,
Mhm.
like Tony Hawk's, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot.
Mhm.
Of all the classic sort of Activision IP, Spyro has always been my favorite. Tony Hawk's close behind. Never really was a Crash Bandicoot guy, but there was always this promise in the old Spyro games that one day Spyro was going to get a little bit older and he was going to be strong enough to be able to fly. And they're finally doing it. I'm a little bit worried about how that affects the platforming gameplay and if there will even be platforming gameplay. Or if it's going to be like Superman 64, you're just flying everywhere. I don't know. Maybe in the trailer they were like that was a free flight mode, or maybe you're gonna fly everywhere. Maybe it'll be like a Breath of the Wild kind of thing where they just crack open the whole game and you
Mhm.
can fly wherever. I the thing that made Spyro special wasn't necessarily the platforming; it was the level design,
Mm.
and there was mini games. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if like this is like doesn't have much in the way of platforming. But I am a little bit concerned about that. Otherwise, like very excited for this one. Big fan of the series. Good sort of collectathon, sort of 3D platformers. Not as egregious as like a Donkey Kong 64 or something, or Banjo where you've got a billion things to collect. Um, but like more than a classic Super Mario game, for example. So
Yeah.
they're fun. They're fun 3D platformers. One of my favorite genres. Um, just looking forward to seeing what comes next from this. And also, just want to say, it was what was the studios? This is not Beanox. What's the trying to remember. They split off from Xbox.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm glad to see that they're doing well and that their game is coming along after they split off from Xbox.
Yeah, and this was also, like you said, this was another game that was already leaked pretty much right away after Toys for Bob got their independence.
Toys for Bob, that's the
Yeah,
studio.
they got their independence, and pretty much right away they were like, "Can we make a Spyro game?" And they're like, "Yeah," and they basically teased this right away with their first announcement as after going independent that they were going to make a Spyro game.
Sure, it's not a surprise that the game exists. I think it is a bit of a surprise for longtime Spyro fans to see a Spyro game where you have flight. Like the promise was always there. It's not that surprising,
Hmm.
but it is a big shift for the franchise, and it will have major impacts on what the gameplay is like. So like they have to get it right.
Yeah, and I feel like we can kind of talk about all like the broader Xbox stuff too while we're talking about this. It does feel like this is part of the plan as well for Microsoft to just kind of keep greenlighting a lot of these like major IPs and get the attention. Look, I think
We're
they announced
eventually going to get a Banjo game. Eventually, from one of these kind of
it
studios.
has to happen, and I you know what? Like we could kind of talk about this stuff right now too because there's like all this rumors going on that Microsoft's going to have big layoffs in July,
Yeah,
that they're pushing for
there's a
more.
lot. There's a lot of context that's needed there. But yeah, I mean, the discussion was layoffs, but also I think it was Jason Schreier was the one who put out the article.
Of course, it's Jason Schreier. He loves misery.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Well, he,
that.
he's he's the like number one guy for layoff news or whatever.
Yeah.
But um, in his article, it was sounding like it was mostly going to be targeting marketing,
Hmm.
um, and like non developer roles. There's a lot of bloat in Xbox with not just marketing, but like when Activision, Blizzard, King, and Bethesda were brought over, they still operate as separate entities from the
Hmm.
Xbox studios. And then also within the Xbox studios, I hate to say it, but there are some studios that have underperformed. Um,
Compulsion being one of the bigger ones, in
yeah,
my
yeah,
opinion.
Compulsion and Double Fine both. I don't want either of those studios to be shut down.
I don't.
Um,
I don't want Double Fine to be shut down for sure.
I feel like there is an opportunity while we're talking about Toys for Bob for Double Fine at least. I don't know about Compulsion. I could see Compulsion getting shut down.
I could see
I
Compulsion kind of being relegated to support studio, if anything.
maybe. I mean, we can hope. And again, I don't want to like.
It's not good to talk about another man's job, they say.
Yeah. I don't wanna like talk about people's jobs like blase. Like this is the play I would make as a backseat quarter jobbing layoffs. Like first off, fuck these mega corporations and the AI bullshit. Like
Hmm.
anyway,
To be honest with you,
if I'm being honest though, I feel like those two are on the chopping block, and I am just hoping that a Toys for Bob or Tango GameWorks sort of style of spin the company off instead of just killing the entire studio. I feel like that would be a better fit for both of the like because whenever Xbox acquired Double Fine, it wasn't the monstrosity of Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, King, like
no,
all
yeah.
these like it was one of their first acquisitions. I
No,
feel like
actually, it was
Double
their
Fine
last
now
one.
would.
It was like one of their last free party acquisitions.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because It was the first big announcement wave
Mm,
with like Compulsion, Ninja Theory, and all them. And then
yeah.
Obsidian and Exile came later, and then Double Fine was the last one.
I mean, Psychonauts 2 did well, and it
It
was
did
like
well,
a
yeah.
AAA quality game, and like it sold well enough. I think.
I this
Um,
is this is why I don't think Double Fine is on the chopping block. I think they're gonna just tell them, look, we love that you can create like fun titles and stuff like that, but we're just going to kind of just rumor, like we're just going to force you either to make Psychonauts 3 or Banjo Kazooie, to be honest with you.
I feel like Double Fine it can't have only been working on Kiln and Keeper.
Keeper.
Like
Yeah.
they had to have had some other stuff in development. Like I know they're not a huge team. Um,
And they just
but
unionized too.
yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see. I
We'll
don't want
see.
anybody getting their jobs taken away. But
That
like
that's where I kind of agree with you. Because this like whole thing, like the rumors are like, oh, they're going to close all these studios and everything. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like it does feel like there is kind of a coordinated thing just to because they're coming from Reset Era first off, unnamed sources at Reset Era, and they always kind of go like 3 people familiar with the source, which is translation bullshit to me, you know?
I don't know. I think it makes sense with all, and I said there's some context behind this.
Right.
The context is that we've seen like a half a dozen interviews with Asha Sharma. We had Matt Booty did an interview. We had the new guy, I forget
Matthew
his name,
Ball,
Matthew
booty
Ball.
and
Yeah,
balls.
yeah,
There you go, booty and balls. There's
yeah. But we've had all these interviews, and they've been talking about their strategy, and they've been talking about the economics. And Asha Sharma has been talking about how Xbox has not been reaching a very good profit margin, or they call it accountability margin.
yeah, because
They
they
were
get
at like
subsidized.
3% or something.
They're basically subsidized by ABK. And
Yeah.
to be
So
fair, besides for Forza Horizon, what other big games have come out that have been like, pushing the needle? I would say Sea of Thieves probably has been keeping a good profit margin
the
because
Bethesda games,
Bethesda games for sure.
Call of
The
Duty.
Age of Empires, but that's ABK. You know, what I mean, we gotta look
Yeah.
beyond
Well, Age
ABK.
of Empires is Xbox Game Studios. Yeah,
Yeah,
Minecraft.
Minecraft Mojang has been definitely keep going. They just announced a new, Minecraft Dungeons game, and
Obsidian was doing well for a while, but their last 2 releases with Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 haven't done well. I understand that Grounded has been doing well, though.
Grounded has been doing great. And I feel like it all depends on the budget. I would say Avowed, I think, really just kind of like came and went, but I think Outer
I think
Worlds
Avowed was a
2.
smaller project. It wasn't like the full studio.
I think Outer Worlds 2 might have made its money back, but I think that it undersold. It
Mhm.
reviewed great. Don't get me wrong, but it undersold. It should have probably sold a lot better.
Just want to address here real quick. Endo
Yeah, I was going to address
has
this too, but
yeah,
go on.
just a bit of a rumor, but apparently the Blade game is considered dead. Says Ando. We had after this was going in the rumor mill. I don't remember if it was the game director Dinga Bakaba, or if it was just Arcane Studios, like their Twitter account
I think it was
responded with
yeah.
they responded with something like "Let us cook." It was the Breaking Bad meme. I don't think the game's been canceled.
I don't either because it's Marvel. It's a big
Yeah,
IP, and
yeah.
and that's
That's a partnership. That would be expensive, and there would be penalties if they did back out.
well. I also think if we're going to talk about that too, how all these rumors are coming out that they're going to focus, and they've said it themselves that they want to focus more on like the high end IPs, and that's kind of where I think a lot of this might be going. Is I don't think they're going to close a lot of these studios, but rather they're going to just say like, hey, we gave you enough time to work on your passion projects, and unfortunately they didn't meet the financial blockbusters that we're looking for to kind of help subsidize your passion projects. So I wouldn't be surprised if you had Fallout New Vegas 2 You know what I mean?
Well, there was a rumor also that there was a Fallout New Vegas 2 that was pitched and then got canceled. I don't know. There's so many rumors with Xbox right now. It's hard to know what's true, what's false, what's bullshit that somebody just came up with. But yeah,
Yeah. But I could see that because with how the game industry is, and if you're AAA, and if you look at a lot of like the best sellers, even at PlayStation, look at these newer projects that like Soros. I don't even think sold 500,000 units.
I
Like
don't believe that. That's
I
crazy.
like I from everything we're seeing is like it sold like 300,000 units. And if that's the case, we turn to Ghost of Yote, and Ghost of Yote probably sold like 5 million units. I feel like that's just where we're going to see is that they just want to put the big names out there. We're going to see Fallouts. We're seeing Fable. We're seeing Forza. We're probably going to see, a lot of like, we got Halo. We might see more Halo coming out soon. I could see them, like I said, I could see Double Fine being kept around, and they're like, your choices are Psychonauts 3 and Banjo or both. And you guys have to focus on making like the best Banjo game. Or, it's like some studios I could see maybe just being converted into support studios. Like Turn 10, I could see Turn 10 maybe just being folded into Playground Games, and Playground Games is just.
They're already sort of a support studio.
Yeah. But like just make it official. Like they're just there for support for like Forza Horizon, and maybe the next Forza game is developed by Playground Games' racing studio instead of Turn 10 being the lead dev. These are ideas. I'm putting these out here as like wishful thinking because
there should be productive ways to reorganize Xbox without like just laying off 1,000 people.
Yeah, like I said, they originally bought all these studios, and this is like my big issue. So Phil Spencer, like he did so much work to bring games to Xbox and PC. Persona, Yakuza, with the third party deals, getting Ninja Gaiden 4 pumped out there. And then it just feels like the fucking bigwigs after they bought ABK just like derailed everything. And now everything's in chaos. And it feels like after they saw how much their bottom line was affected by the multi-platform strategy, they just said, okay, now we may have been third place, but we were good. We were making money third place,
Yeah. I think that from the outside looking in, it appears that Xbox is playing fast and loose and making quick decisions. But at the same time, any time that I've worked in a corporation or just basic knowledge of how corporations work, things don't tend to change this fast. I feel like a lot of these things were already in the works, or are like a lot of the things we're seeing right now, or the plans and the shifts were already happening. And once they had all these plans in place, that's when they're like, all right, Phil, it's time for you to step down. We'll get somebody new to come in.
Yeah, even Phil at the end felt like he had no energy. Sorry to cut you off. He just looked like he was trotting out there. He was dead man walking the entire time.
Again, I guess my point here is that a lot of the things that are being associated with or people are saying are Asha Sharma doing things could well have been Matt Booty or Phil Spencer or even Sarah Bond. I don't know about Sarah. It seems like she got pushed out. But
she got pushed out hard.
Yeah. I just wanted to put that out there. Not to say that like Asha Sharma is not necessarily going to be good or anything for the brand, but some of these decisions could have been made a while ago. Like they don't turn around that quick. I saw people talking about how Gears of War was going to be on PlayStation, and then like a lot of people at Xbox didn't know that it had gone exclusive, and there was a big kerfuffle on Twitter about like Aaron Greenberg said that the leadership had known for a while that it was going to be exclusive, but they didn't tell everybody so that it wouldn't leak.
I
all that. I don't know that I really believe.
Well,
that these are last minute changes.
Yeah, I
Is
will
my
say
point.
this. I will say this. They did say when
No,
they
definitely not Phil Spencer Shill Hour.
yeah, definitely not Phil Spencer. First, not Phil Spencer. Phil. Hi, AC, how you doing? I want to address this in a second, though, Ando. But give me a second here. So, they did say all the other Gears of War games would come to PlayStation 5 when they did the remaster. That was confirmed.
That's true.
Then they had all the Halos are going to go forward and be Xbox exclusive. Not Xbox. They're going to be on PlayStation.
Multi-platform.
Yeah. And then Fable was also announced when they did that big Fable showcase earlier this year. It does feel like, from everything that we've been seeing as well behind the scenes, there's been some rumors that they tried to pull Fable and they pulled Halo out of the state of play. That's why it says captured on PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
It does feel like everything that we're hearing, and I think this is kind of true, is that a lot of these decisions were made and the contracts were signed and they already made the physical media, and Microsoft did not want to take the blow for canceling those contracts, but they didn't have all the physical media rights set up for Gears E-Day, and definitely they didn't have all the media rights set up for Clockwork Revolution.
Yeah.
So let's just be honest here. They delayed Fable, so that probably is why they probably had that scheduled much sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And then Halo is coming out in July. That's next month. So
Yeah.
I don't think that there was
no way they could have turned that around.
There was no way
Yeah.
they could have turned that around.
Yeah, I guess again that speaks to my thought is that they're not doing like there's people who are saying like it was good they changed it over the weekend or something like
Yeah.
things don't move that fast.
No, they clearly have a plan here, and I do feel like this is what Phil Spencer wanted. Like he had this all in motion, and then they bought ABK, and then I think because Sarah Bond, she was more well known for like media devices. I think she worked at T-Mobile or something.
Mm.
So I think a lot of like everything that you hear, all hearsay, could all be bullshit, but this is all that we got to work on.
Speculation.
Is that Sarah Bond, her big plan was this is an Xbox and everything. Like that was all her plan because it was the only way that
definitely seems to be the case.
Yeah, it seemed like it was to appease all those shareholders who panicked when they saw $46 billion for 80 like I forget $76 billion for ABK, and they panicked and they thought we got to make that money back quick, and then I think they quickly realized, even if you're third place, if you have 50 million active users who are constantly buying games and staying in your services, and they're collecting that 30% of games off of game sales on your platform, that still matters, And Matt, I'm going to say this, full disclosure, I'm a consumer. I don't give a fuck how these corporations make money. That's their job, not my job.
Right.
So I don't care about all this stuff. Just for sake of context, you have to talk about it just to let the information you have out there. But my personal opinion is just like I said. It's like, how does Xbox make money? And I always counter with, it's not my fucking responsibility for how Xbox makes money. Do I like the games? That's all I'm here to talk about.
Hey, speaking of games, I did have a couple more sort of like honorable mentions I want to mention about the Xbox showcase.
Cool. One more second.
Oh yeah, let's do this. Yeah.
I wanna address this. When they say Gears E-Day could have a $40 million budget, to be honest with you, I said 40. Sorry, $400 million budget. I can see this being a real thing, but only as a cost for Unreal Engine 5 R&D for the entire department.
It's true because the Coalition does help a lot with engine
and
work.
Halo, Fable, State of Decay, Senua, Clockwork are all on Unreal. So I could see that budget being inflated, but it's more so of a overall cost because of how much help the Coalition does with Unreal work, even with non-first party studios, that I think it's just a overall investment cost, in my opinion, where it could look a little bit more inflated And if you saw that number and you didn't think beyond step one, you could go like, "Oh man, there's no way it costs that much." But
It's worth remembering that the Coalition was spun out from Epic.
yes, they were.
They're very familiar with the engine. That's a good point.
All right. Your honorable mentions, because I got a few too, probably.
Yeah, just go. I'll go sort of quickly on these. One, Castlevania, Belmont's Curse.
Mm-hmm.
I love that we're finally getting a new 2D Metroid, or not Metroid, 2D Castlevania.
Also made
It's
by
been
the Dead Cells devs too.
it's been so long since we've had a 2D Castlevania. I don't know. I love the Game Boy Advance, or is it Game Boy Advance Castlevania games. I don't know. I saw something weird. Like people are complaining that it's a female character. There's been plenty of female characters. You play as Sonya and one of the
Listen, it's
one
the
of the
internet.
older.
They see a woman and they get pissed
Yeah,
off. They go right away.
It's not. This is nothing new. It's not woke. It's Castlevania. It's happened before.
I guess it's also she has character lore in a hidden Game Boy or Game Boy Advance game too, or something too.
Yeah. So,
AC's here. He should tell us, and when he catches up to this conversation.
in any case, though, the game looks really good. I like the look of the boss fights. The art style is really good for like a modern sort of 2D style.
Yeah, we'll share it off in case anyone didn't see this.
Yeah. So again, really good art style. I feel like this should appeal maybe to the fans of the anime, the Netflix series.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a sort of a similar sort of a style that sort of carries over. Also, yeah, I love the damage numbers, like the modern-ish UI.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like fully like modern, but it just has a lot of polish for a Metroidvania.
It just looks like a Hades Metroid game.
Yeah, that's right. It does look like Hades.
And I love Hades. Hades is a great game.
Yeah,
this new Castlevania game is a brand new character. Okay, but there was another female Belmont, right? That's what I'm thinking of. Go on. Sorry.
Oh no, Sonia Cruz. I don't know. I don't know about Belmont. I know it's not an anime. It's Adi Shakar or whatever his name is.
Or Shakir, yeah.
Yeah. I know it's not technically an anime.
But like I said, all these bosses and these portrait arts, they just look like Hades art. You know,
yeah. It looks incredible.
I get a lot of Hades vibes to it. I have this picked in our fantasy game draft, so I hope it gets a 90. And
yeah, I think it's a hidden like game of the year quality game.
Mm-hmm.
Like people forget, like first off how popular Metroidvanias are. Like. Mm-hmm. But also, like, this is Castlevania. Like, when Metroid Dread came out, like, when there was a new Metroid, like a new 2D Metroid, that game did, like, really, really well critically, and I think commercially did well, too. It was the best-selling series. So watch out for this game. It's gonna it's gonna come out of nowhere. Nobody's gonna expect it.
I hope so, because I picked it because I felt the same way. And I need to keep stomping on AC and everyone else in our little fantasy league.
You don't even play them? You gotta. What? I love Metroidvanias.
Hey, early bird gets the worm. It's not my fault. You slept on it, bro.
Yeah.
But
speaking of Metroidvanias, I think we're supposed to be getting a new Bloodstained as well.
Yes, that was announced, I believe. Oh well,
that wasn't here. That was announced a while ago. But
didn't the creator die? So isn't that gonna be a little problem?
I assume the I don't know. I have to look that one up. I'll do my last honorable mention, then you can do yours.
Yeah.
Crazy Taxi World Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gameplay looks great. Classic. It looks almost like a remake what they showed, because it's San Francisco, which is where the one of the previous games took place. So, yeah, no, it just looks really polished. Looks like a lot of fun. I
Yeah, it
like
looks like
Crazy
Crazy
Taxi.
Taxi. Yeah, just
Yeah.
modern Crazy Taxi. You know, it's funny. My wife's like, Is this a ripoff of the Simpsons Road Rage game?" That's what she said to me.
I did like Simpsons Road Rage, and I would love for them to come back and do another one of those. But
Yeah,
that's funny.
but you know what I found out too, just from I went to a gaming convention with a buddy of mine. Um, I didn't know this, but on the Sega Saturn they had a bicycle delivery game, and I guess that was a precursor to Crazy Taxi.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know this at the time. So
Isn't there like a bicycle delivery mini game in one of the
yeah,
Yakuza?
yeah, in the new one, and I guess
Yeah.
that's what it was. It's not a Crazy Taxi thing. It's I guess a direct mini game of that former Sega Saturn bicycle delivery game.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, but
Demonetized.
that was my last one there for the Xbox showcase. I liked a lot of stuff there.
Power trip in a fantasy. No, I play video games, sir. I power trip all the time. I gotta say, I'm happy that we're getting a proper, you know, new Senua game as well. Um, I know that a lot of people. I loved Hellblade 2, but I know a lot of people were expecting it to be more of a fighting, like action game, kind of closer to the DMC game that they made.
Well, this one seems to be a lot more combat focused. Also, a lot
Yeah,
sooner than expected.
yeah, that one caught me off guard. But at the same time, from what I was reading too, they posted on Twitter. I got an exact. I think I linked it here into my little group chat. Let me find it real quick here. But they did say that this game was going to be a lot longer than their prior games as well.
Yeah, I saw that it was like um, I don't remember what it was, 8 to 12 hours or something.
Here we go. Let me. So here's it says right here. Senua is still in development, so we don't have an exact figure, but we're designing it to be quite a bit longer than previous Hellblade games. We're creating a more expansive, fully realized action adventure journey while still keeping the experience focused, carefully crafted, and deliberately paced around Senua's story. So when they go like that, I'm guessing it's probably going to be the length of both games combined plus more.
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory. So I think it took 6 hours to beat both games each. So 12 hours there. So maybe it could be like a 20-hour experience. I could see that.
Hmm.
But I'm a huge Hellblade fan. It was my favorite new IP of last generation. Hellblade 2 came out around my birthday last year, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. But I know that it wasn't what everyone was expecting, myself included. And
Right.
like we were saying, a lot of this Xbox Studio stuff, if these rumors are true, is that they're going to try to pump out known qualities. Now, the first Hellblade, I think, sold somewhere around 5 million copies across everything, PC and Switch
Yeah, it was
included in that.
multi-plat. Yeah.
So this game is also going to be multi-plat at launch this time instead of a timed exclusive. But it does feel like they're saying like, okay, your first game was super successful, your second game was like a glorified tech demo, and now that you've mastered Unreal Engine 5, it's time for you to kind of go out there and now make a real game, you know, not just a walking sim, but an actual like action based game that you guys can do because they are a studio known for that. You know, the Journey. I forget that the game is based off like Journey to the West, obviously DMC, Heaven's Blade. I feel like that's what they're finally saying. It's like, okay, now it's time to commit to Senua as like an action hero, you know. So we'll see how that is. One more game I wanted to shout out. Well, two more. That Join Us game, the Cult Simulator.
Yeah. I'm really excited for that one. That one's a co-op too, or
Yeah.
online multiplayer.
So I love Cult of Lamb. So this game looks like the best aspects of Cult of the Lamb meets Far Cry.
Yeah, I thought that's what I immediately thought of was is that Far Cry 5?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So I can't wait to play that with some friends. So Grim, you and I need to sit down and hammer something out then, if you want to do that.
Sure, sounds good. As long as the game is well, you know what? Honestly, this is one of those games I don't care how it reviews. I want to I want to try it out.
Yeah, it looks fucking just fun, even if it's a
Yeah,
seven. And they're like
yeah,
you can have a lot of fun with a seven. And now this
yeah.
one is also a games Discord I joined, Bad Magpie,
Yeah,
and
I was excited for this one too. I
the,
wish listed it.
I this game is coming exclusively to Xbox and
I
PC.
love this right here.
This is just so unhinged. I showed this to my wife, and she just started cracking up immediately. I think her words were, and I quote, "You need to stream this game. What are you doing?" And it gave me a lot of Untitled Goose Game vibes.
Uh-huh. There was
And
another like a goose game. I don't remember where was that.
it was at the Summer Games Fest.
Uh-huh, yeah. The multiplayer goose game. This one looked better of the two though.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be just pure anarchy and fun. So I wanted to shout that one out really well too, because we kind of gave a lot of stuff out there. But yeah, overall, oh, and one more game actually, because this just got announced as well for August. Uh, One of my favorite new video game franchises, Resonance: A Plague's Tale story.
This one looks a lot more. One of the things I noticed about this is a lot more action focused.
Way more action focused, and there is a video game. I think like a 5 minute video game demo or video out there that shows off the combat a lot more. I love A Plague's Tale. The first one, Innocence, I think is great. Requiem, I think is a must play for anybody out there. I really love Uncharted 2, and I think it's probably like the most epic feeling I felt in a Uncharted like game in quite some time was Requiem. And
Requiem.
it
Yeah, I think maybe that's. I loved Innocence, but I bounced off of Requiem. I think maybe it's that Uncharted that I don't like Uncharted games. I'm weird.
uh I can feel that story is so awesome though. That ending is so great.
Yeah, I need to go back and do it. I 100% of Innocence. There's no reason. I really should go back and play it.
Yeah.
It's like
But
20 bucks right now too. I think it's
yeah,
like pretty steep sale.
it always goes on sale. You could usually buy both games for like $25 in a bundle. One of my favorite steel books I also own is that game, and I have the collector's edition of Requiem, and I love it. But yeah, Plague's Tale Legacy Resonance. Cannot wait for this game to come out. It's going to be the first game I think from these showcases next to Halo that I play and have a really good time with that. But overall, you said you gave this showcase an A, and I kind of agree with you too. I think Gears of War E-Day is going to be I feel like I'm going to put my stamp on this, and I could be wrong, but I feel like if that game hits, that's a game of the year contender easily.
Yeah. Yeah,
Easily.
I think at this point, like we look at all the games that are left for the year, and there's not a lot that I feel like are gonna be like for sure locks for game of the year. But of everything that's out there, I feel like Gears of War E Day is maybe the top contender for that spot.
I do agree with you on that one. So now for something completely different. The
Well,
last
obviously Grand Theft Auto.
the last of the first party platforms had their Nintendo Direct earlier this week on Tuesday, and I was very underwhelmed with this one, to be honest with you. I kind of gave this one just a C.
Mm. I think again, like, and this is just the story of this year. Like, I feel like it depends on your personal preference on games. Also, like, how much does a single quality game stand out for you? Like, how much are you excited by a single game? Because there wasn't quantity for me here, but I saw a lot of Nintendo fans and a lot of especially JRPG fans saying this was like the best showcase ever. This was the best of all of them. And I'm like, I don't necessarily agree. For me, this was a B. This is an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I can understand that if you're a JRPG fan, that there was a lot to like about this game. But to be honest with you, my counterpoint is there was a lot of announcements of Switch 2 ports. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like Onimusha, I'm like, okay, that's cool, but you know, it was more so like I'm happy for you if you didn't have access to it, and I'm happy to see these games go everywhere. But for me, it's just like I've already got these games at home, and I could play them on a better system. Like I might buy some of them for support if that's it, but like I'll just run through them real quickly of all the ports. Onimusha 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, Onimusha Way of the Sword, Dragon's Dogma 2, but they also announced that there's the major DLC expansion for that. So that was kind of a nice little addition.
Yeah,
there.
they did some like additions, pack-ins, DLCs for some of these ports.
Yeah. Stellar Blade going to Switch 2. That caught me off guard. I did not expect
Yeah.
that.
I noticed that they went for the least skimpy outfits every time they were showing her off. I was like, oh, yeah, that's Nintendo.
Let me see here. They showed off the DK challenge, and then they also had like fun Mario and Luigi skins that were going there. Followed that up quickly. Lords of the Fallen 2 coming to Switch 2. I guess that's cool. I'm not a big fan. Liza P, the complete edition coming to Switch 2. That one I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. And they do have a really cool collector's edition as well for that one for the Switch 2, which I think is great because I think only Korea and only the PS5 got like a special collector's edition for that. So fans of the series, this is your chance to get something cool. Devil May Cry 5, the complete edition coming to Switch 2. I mean, all this stuff sounds great and fun, but generally speaking, Metaphor ReFantazio. We already know how that is. Kingdom Hearts, all the Kingdom Hearts games.
Can I just say also, the port for Metaphor, that was not looking good. Like, it was, the frame rate didn't look good, and the textures were looking pretty bad. That does not look like a very good port. And there's no reason the Switch 2 shouldn't be able to handle that game.
Right.
Like, it's not graphically pushing anything. That's just a bad port.
Sorry, my wife gave me a cookie. But then we got Space Marine 2 coming there. No way in fucking hell am I playing Space Marine 2 on Switch 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 coming to Switch 2. Now,
that was already announced.
Yeah, I know. But they reconfirmed it again.
Yeah.
Grim, your thoughts while I eat this cookie.
Final Fantasy 14 on Switch is not a very good deal, as Final Fantasy 14 is my favorite game now, just because the story's so good. But the reason it's not a good deal is Nintendo is going to make you pay an additional subscription on top of the Final Fantasy 14 subscription to be able to play the game there. This was sort of a deal they made with Square Enix so that you wouldn't need to have a Nintendo Switch Online on top of your 14 subscription. But it's a bad deal. You should just play. If you want to play Final Fantasy 14 portable, get a Steam Deck, get an ROG Ally, get the Xbox Ally, whatever. Just get a different portable system. Nintendo is not the place to play this game unless you're a diehard Nintendo. It's your whole ecosystem is there. Like, it's my favorite game, but I would not get it on Nintendo.
Yeah, and last big kind of Square announcement before we get to another one later on: Kingdom Hearts 4 coming day one to Switch 2.
Well, that's you can't skip that and make it like a minor thing. That's in my list.
Well, I feel like I said, it's been announced before too. You know, I think it's just confirmation that it's coming to.
That was a meaningful trailer. It wasn't just a port like trailer. It's a meaningful trailer. There's some good stuff there.
All right. Well, then let's get into it. What you have 5 games from this thing that you'd like to talk about? Let's hear them.
I'll start off with another controversial game.
Ooh.
And that's going to be Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Now, there's nothing controversial I would say about this, but
Well, it being in the list for sure, but being number one, or there's some things controversial about it. Um, the thing is, like Persona 6, like we don't see really anything. And what we do see is the controversial part. There's people who are complaining about the way Link looks or the way the art style. Link looks like a toddler, not like young Link. I there's many ways you can explain this away. Also, the fact that Link has the Triforce already when he's laying in his bed before he's got uh, the fairy. I forget the name.
Uh, Navi.
Navi. Yeah, yeah. Before he's got Navi, he's got the Triforce. There's plenty of ways to explain this away, but I think it's like just a mood piece. Um, there, if this is what the game actually looks like graphically, if that's what young Link actually looks like when you're playing the game, that's a bad decision. He's got like chubby toddler arms and legs. It doesn't look good. But again, I think this could very easily be like 5 years in the past. Like this is like the opening cutscene, and then we cut like a little bit later when he's a little bit older. They might be overhauling parts of the story because, I mean, this is a game from I want to say 1998. I could be. It's in that sort of ballpark. So, yeah, I think just the promise of the highest rated game of all time getting a remake. Very
It's a lot
excited.
to live up to. It's a lot to live up to, and I will say with you like that, it could just also be like the Star Fox characters, where it's like it's such a drastic change of what you're used to seeing that it might take you a little bit to get used to.
Yeah,
Because I think a lot of people with the Star Fox characters kind of got over it, I would say.
Yeah, I think like the second or third time I watched the Star Fox trailer, I was like, yeah, I'm okay with this now.
Yeah, and I want to say before you go back on, I love that everyone's been putting Sleeping Link as a Yamcha meme. That's what I love.
I have not seen the meme. Now you're gonna have to send it to me.
Oh, I gotta find it, but they replaced Yamcha, the one where he dies in that hole, and they just put Sleeping Link in the hole.
It's like the same. It's like the same pose, right?
Yeah, it's the same. I was like, I've been liking that, and there's been a lot of funny memes. I forgot to say this, but like you were talking about like the Persona 6 fans, like a lot of them showed like crying people, like the famous one where it's like the anime girl smashing a person in the chest, like why the fuck are you green? You know, like crying. So like there's been some good memes out there for sure, but sorry, go on.
No, you're good. I have to be excited about Zelda. Like my screen name Grimblade is a reference to Zelda the Minish Cap. So like it's just a requirement. It's in my contract, you know.
Yeah, no, I get you. It look, it's Ocarina of Time. I've never played it. I haven't been like the biggest Nintendo fanboy. I'm slowly working my way around. Uh, but yeah, this game is legendary. I had friends who were obsessed with this game when I was a kid. You know.
It's a very good game.
Mm-hmm.
I personally prefer Twilight Princess as my favorite of the old style 3D games,
Mm-hmm.
but Ocarina of Time is a close second for me. Very very good.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not the best Zelda game. It's Wind Waker, followed by the CDI games, and then that's it. Everything else is
Some
trash.
fighting words. I'm gonna have to leave you. You're not getting the rest of my top 5 now.
It peaked at Zelda 2, and that's just been downhill ever since. That's what they say. Can you say that first part louder, please, Carl? What first part?
The Wind Waker part, I think.
Wind Waker is the best Zelda game.
No.
Spirit Tracks is the second best because it's technically a follow up.
Well, there was another one between Spirit Tracks. Is the other DS game.
Oh, Phantom Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass. I liked Phantom Hourglass a lot, actually. It's one of my favorite of the 2D games. Minish Cap's my favorite 2D though.
I want to play that game. I've always wanted to play that one.
It's very good. I think they recently did a decompilation, so there's a native PC port for it.
I want to buy it physically for my collection.
But of course, Nintendo ninjas listening, I would never,
I would. Fuck you, Nintendo.
um, speaking of Nintendo,
I'm not a big Nintendo fan. Yeah, that's true. You know I am. I'm more of an Xbox than anything else. Look, I like 3 Nintendo IPs. All right, Star Fox, fucking Fire Emblem, and of course F-Zero. I finally got Star Fox after 20 years. It feels like.
well,
And
let's
and
talk about Fire Emblem then.
Fire Emblem. You and I know this was, I think, when we did our top 5 show. You, I, and Fernando. This was like our big overlap, and I will bring up the trailer because this is glorious. Did you get a collector's edition, by the way?
I did. This is my number 2. This is like a far future sequel to Three Houses. If you go back in the trailer, if you go back to the map.
Yeah, fuck, really? Really? Why? Right when I hit pause, it's like, fuck you. Yeah, they were bringing up the map, like this part right here.
So, if you look at that eastern, where there's like a small gap between Idia and like the green land to the east. If you go to the east, that's Fodlan. That's where the Three Houses takes place. So this is like a western continent. This is like if you played the Golden Deer in Three Houses.
The best,
this would be like
one,
yeah, agreed. But this would be like past where they were set up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the neighboring continent. But yeah, exciting things about this trailer, and we still don't know 100% yet what's going on here. But they show some of like the Fire Emblem Persona sort of gameplay that they started doing in Three Houses.
Yeah.
With you can explore in the city or you can explore outside the city. And when they explore outside the city, there's in the UI it's got like a turn counter. It says 100 turns. And then you've got a distance that you can travel that's sort of a strange shaped sort of boundary to the edge of how far you can travel. And then you can travel to go like fishing, or you can do like level up certain skills, or look to recruit people.
They did dungeons too. If you were going to get that.
Like a mini dungeon.
Yeah.
So there's like different. It's an advancement or an incremental improvement upon Three Houses. I was thinking when they first showed this game off that it was going to be like Gladius, if you played that back in the day.
Oh, or one of the best Lucas games.
Mm-hmm. Or like a Metaphor where you're traveling from city to city. But it seems like we're gonna be in this central city, and as time goes on, the distance that we can travel away from the city to do side activities will get bigger as we go further into the campaign.
And we got to shout out guest character Alucard for joining this game as well. That's fucking Alucard. I don't care what anyone says.
He's edgy boy. You gotta have one. It's a Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, but it's like he's the only one that like doesn't fit in properly here. You know?
Also, his name's Dietrich. Like he sounds edgy.
Yeah. Theodora, she can step on me all she wants. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, mommy.
And then best girl right here, according to the internet. So, I can't wait for this game.
It's a big graphical improvement over Three Houses too. Just looking at it.
Yeah. I like Three Houses. I know that's a hot take, but I'm not gonna say it's the best one. I like it.
Is it a hot take? A lot of people like Three Houses.
Oh, a lot of people fucking hate Three Houses.
Wow.
Like all I hear online now is that Three Houses was like, you know, the equivalent of them walking in on someone like murdering their mom. It seems like with the discourse online. But on top of that,
you're hanging around with extremists. It's Three Houses is one of the most popular games.
That's why it's so hated. You know this is true. You're a Persona fan. You know Persona 5 is the most hated Persona too.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say Awakening is still better, but like
I agree.
Three Houses is up there for me. I like the Ike games.
Hmm.
Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn.
Yeah,
But like I would put Three Houses in my top five Fire Emblem,
yeah.
and
Also,
I've played most of the English ones.
shout out, you get to ride ostriches in this game. I love it.
Yeah,
Already game of the year contenders. Is like no horses, just ostriches. So they already got me.
normies aside. Oh, if you go back to that map, you can see what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. You
With the not that map, the city map.
know,
Just a second ago, right about here.
let's let it play from here.
It might have been before this shot.
There we go.
Yeah, just let it play. It was like for a split second. Anyway, you can see
There we
right
go.
here. So you can see it's almost like in Civilization. You see that little. Maybe that's a nation border. Maybe that's what that is, or maybe that's a border for how far you can travel. Also, uh, somewhere in the UI here it mentions like 100 turns, and then like it says your mission is to participate in the first game, and then you have 100 turns.
You,
So
yeah, it definitely feels like they could be stealing that from like the Persona kind of series.
yeah,
Which
it feels like almost like a board game esque though. I like what they're doing here with the map.
hmm it does feel very Atlas kind of feel to it in terms of letting all them work on stuff. Oh, we got a friend joining us here. You know, Mr. Angry Canadian joining us. Hey, AC,
Oh
how you
boy.
doing, buddy? He wanted to
I've been
talk to you,
summoned.
Grim.
Uh oh.
No, I'm just here to troll, to dunk on Carl, because that's my purpose in life.
Yeah, that's true.
We're not here to trash talk the normies who like Three Houses.
We can say that for a different stream, because that will go pretty long if we do that.
But yeah, you want me to let this run, Grim, or do you want to talk? I gotta use the bathroom anyway, so it's perfect you came here, AC. You can carry it.
Yeah, so I think I've said most of what I wanted to say about this game. Again, this is the most promising part. Like this screen right here. Um, it just that evolution of the gameplay. I always felt like when I was playing Three Houses, especially when I would do a second playthrough or a run with the different houses, that the monastery gameplay got very repetitive. It was cool and interesting on the first playthrough, but then whenever you have to go train up everybody and you have to do all the like the daily life management, it become a chore. This looks like variety, and variety in a way that was missing from Three Houses. Um, so I'm hopeful for what this here means. Um, I don't think it's going to be like a complete 180 away from Three Houses. I am expecting an evolution, um, but yeah, that's my main thought on this game. It's gonna definitely, I think, September.
Yeah, September
Um,
17th.
yeah, September 17th. It's gonna be my September game. Above anything else coming out this year, this is the one.
Yeah, I think I unfortunately have to agree with you on the evolution of like this game from Three Houses, because obviously the numbers don't lie. Three Houses sold really well. I want to say I don't know if it sold better than Engage, because I personally liked Engage more, but
Engaged did
everyone.
have better combat.
Yes, yeah. But Three Houses was very well received by all kinds of people. And if something ain't broke, don't fix it. And I guess they're just gonna expand on it. And like you said, hopefully they can refine some stuff. Because I really did not like the monastery stuff at all. I didn't like the whole time stuff, like the persona like calendar system that they added. Which it looks like they're gonna be doing that in this game, which that's gonna be kind of annoying for me.
Yeah,
But
that's
if
definitely
it's
confirmed.
yeah, if it's if it's like a bit, I don't know. I don't know. I guess if there are like more things to do other than the same three things, then I guess I can let that slide. But I do agree with your point about this map here, how like there'll be way more places to go to and see. And I am very curious, like how can they really can expand the world, right? The lore of the world instead of just like, with three houses, it was just the monastery and then whatever random battle you went into.
And tea
Where
time.
that's yeah, yeah. I mean I can't knock tea time. I love tea time. Tea
The
time was
sauna, man.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be cool to run around here because that's what I liked about Engage was how Engage had like a big map that you ran around. I know a lot of other Fire Emblem maps or games do that too, but
Mm.
Engage, you had a big map you could run around, but there was all these other like little nooks and crannies you can go into for like the extra battles for like
Hmm.
boosting your emblems and whatnot, or finding stuff, or even just like farming money and XP. So
Like Sacred Stones back in the day.
yeah,
The Infinite Tower at the end.
Yeah, and I did like that a lot about Engage. I just hated the ending of Engage. That was my big gripe with it. But Engage was a really great game until that like final 5 chapters when I wanted to just jump out a window.
hey, you should go back. Sorry, not to disregard your dumb comments there.
Oh, shut up! You played on easy. I don't want to hear you talk.
I didn't play it on easy. Get
You
out
told
of
me
here.
you told me you played on easy. Shut
Oh,
up.
go back to like that mid shot, like about halfway through the video,
Yeah,
where
because
he's talking to recruiting the girl with the green hair. Keep going, right here. Just look at the UI here. Maybe not the shot.
the next shot had what you were talking about earlier, about the 200 turns or whatever.
Yeah, just let it play from here.
All right, tell me when to stop.
I had it there for a half second, but
Eh,
after this battle, you'll see it. And you're right here.
right here. Pause.
Okay.
Yeah, look at the bottom left UI. This is the most that map that we paused on, and this bottom left UI. This is the most important parts of this trailer.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a lot of deadline 9-1, Saturday at 12, left 200 turns. Yeah. Definitely doing that. I hope they have like a Fire Emblem Direct to kind of like lay out more of the gameplay.
Explain. We're definitely speculating at this point.
Yeah.
I am just pleased that they're developing on or improving upon the monastery system, because that was definitely the weakest part of Three Houses.
Oh yeah, the Persona Light not well done process. Yes.
Yeah. So if there's a lot more variety in what you can do, like that will definitely lift this game up.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope
Red
that this
damage.
game's not super easy, because like that kind of concerns me right there. Like that is level 31 though. This high level gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
but like I hope that it has a similar level of difficulty to Engage rather than Three Houses, which I thought was too easy.
Yeah, Three Houses was more normie friendly, kind of like Awakening too. Awakening was kind of easy, especially once you learned the eugenics system, as I like to call it.
Just don't give me Radiant Dawn difficulty again.
All right.
I don't need it that hard.
But yeah, that Fire Emblem game, very, very much on my I can't wait to playlist. And that was also a September release, or was it October? I forget.
September
17th.
Yeah, even better. I'm getting fucked, boys. No lube.
Yeah, that's my September game, by the way. Like everything else, nah.
I don't blame you. That will definitely. At least it's on a handheld, so I could play it on the go. But knowing me, I don't like playing on a handheld, so I'll just still be playing on my TV.
All right, going down the list, my number 3 is Kingdom Hearts 4. We sort of briefly talked about this, but not really.
All right, I'll put the trailer on.
I just want to point out, give a little bit of story time.
Story time.
Way back in the day, like 15 years ago, maybe, Tetsuya Nomura was developing a game called Final Fantasy 13 versus 13. And that game was supposed to be like a Final Fantasy game set in a modern, realistic world with like skyscrapers and cars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that game it got stuck in development hell, partially because of the engine work, like the switch to Luminous engine, but partially because Tetsuya Nomura is infamous like perfectionist, and so that game got taken away from Nomura, and I want to say the 7 remake director. I could be wrong. I forget who wound up taking over 15. But they wound up taking the game away from him, rebranding it as 15. Then when Nomura made Kingdom Hearts 3 during the Toy Story level, and then and after that later on, there's references to a game in the world of Kingdom Hearts 3 called Verum Rex. And Verum Rex has like a lot of striking resemblances to the original 13 versus 13. So the character who would go on to become Noctis in 15 was a character called what did they? Oh, I can't remember all my Kingdom Hearts lore. Anyway,
Who can?
There's Final Fantasy 15 characters, or what would become 15 characters in this Kingdom Hearts world, and then you get to fight this not Noctis as a super boss in Kingdom Hearts 3. And now, when you at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, I won't spoil what happens at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 in the DLC. Something major, one of the biggest plot twists in the entire series, happens, and Sora gets sent along with Riku to this other world, and this other world is very much like the real world. But inside this other world, there are the original characters, the original designs for characters that later got twisted and turned and changed into something else from his original vision. But those characters are now here that would later go on to become Final Fantasy 15. But this is like this seems to be Tetsuya Nomura getting to make the Versus 13 that he wanted to make in Kingdom Hearts 4. So there's like this cool development story of the developer getting to make the game he originally wanted to make, and that is seen in this trailer. If you watch the trailer and you look at like some of the NPCs popping up on the screen, they look familiar if you played Kingdom Hearts or if you played Final Fantasy 15, because they're just another world version of the same characters. So you have like a young version of the main villain, one of your party members. You have a canceled character who was supposed to be Noctis's love interest, but also is connected to the Kingdom Hearts mobile games. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts lore, you know. It's a big trailer for Kingdom Hearts nerds. There's a lot going on here. The gameplay looks good. It looks better than Kingdom Hearts 3. Less floaty, which is good. So I was excited for this one.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna buy it. I was still disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3. I gotta go back and replay it because I didn't play the DLC. So
yeah, you have to play the DLC.
That's on the to-do list.
You need to play it before 4 for sure.
Well, I have plenty of time since there's no release date.
It's not long for the story. Like the super bosses will take time, but like the story part of the DLC won't take you long.
But don't worry, I just bought the collection again for PS5, so I will replay it again. Especially because I like the new chibi artwork that they got going on there. I feel like I'm just part of the problem at this point. Let's just be honest. AC, how about you? Since what do you have any Kingdom Hearts thoughts?
Nope, I have no interest in really playing that series. Even though there's a lot of Disney IP like characters that I like, I don't care to play.
Yeah, they got Tron and Captain Jack Sparrow.
I think we're finally gonna get Star Wars this time.
Ooh, that'd be great. Marvel and Star Wars, that would be great, right? We got the Avengers level. I think that's coming.
Sorry, I cut you off there, AC.
No, you're good.
All right. Your next game, Grim.
Xenoblade Genesis. I am a sucker for Magic Academy. I watch so many Magic Academy animes. I don't know why. It's like my isekai cringe. It's like, damn. I also, as a big fan of Shin Megami Tensei, it's one of my favorite game series. The fact that we're inside of like a shell world and there's like the suns in the middle of the world. It reminds me of the Vortex world from Shin Megami Tensei 3.
Mm.
Um, I'm not like a huge Xenoblade fan. I don't really like the combat in these games. I know that's one of the things that people are really drawn to. I played through the second game, and the story is really good. So this is like one of those games where I'm here for the story, but I really don't want to do the combat. 3 is an improvement on the combat, and maybe this will have a vastly different combat than the other games in the series. But it's like an MMO light combat. It's weird. Yeah. If you've never played a Xenoblade game, though, the stories are phenomenal.
The stories are great, but I do agree with you. The first one in particular, that MMO style of fighting and world exploration, I'm just like, well, you know my feeling on MMOs. I'm just put me out of my misery, man.
My favorite game is Final Fantasy 14, though. So I mean, you know,
I know
the story is just good enough in that game that it nullifies the MMO gameplay.
Now, AC, you're the residential Xeno nerd. You had some high praise for this game.
Well, I can't say I'm a Xeno nerd because I haven't played Gears or Saga, and
Saga is really good.
Yeah, I get crapped on by our mutual friend Raporial for not playing Xenogears. The same with Nosferatu. Even though like there's only like one way to really play it legitimately now, and that's through the PS Vita
And PS3.
Yeah, and the PS3. So someday I will get to it. But no, I'm a big Xenoblade fan. I've played all 4 games. I used to think number 1 was my favorite, and then I replayed 3 this past year, or actually the beginning of this year, and I really love 3 a lot. And then I just did not like 2 at all. I think 2 suffered the same issues that Three Houses did, where it attracted a massive normie fan base, and because of that, it like all the arguments online are made by people that don't have any real experience in life, so they think like the story in this game is like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
No real
Even though it follows like a lot of anime tropes, like more than it should, in my opinion. Because that's okay. So not to go too far on a rant, what I really liked about the first game was how it was a very like serious game. Like at first it starts off like, oh, they're living on this mech or whatever, but then the more you play this game, you're like, wow, this story goes deeper and deeper, and it gets darker and darker until you get to like the end of the game. You're like, this is insane what's happening.
Crazy
And then
plot twist.
Yeah, exactly. But then when I was playing 2, it's like I never really felt any of that, and it never felt like the world was really under threat, at least to my opinion. You get to 3, and 3 is even more insane because the whole theme of the game is like people killing each other in order just to survive the next day. Like it's just constant death in that game, and I thought that was like insane for like a theme.
They do an incredible plot twist in 3 as well. Like halfway through the game, like I won't spoil it. It's worth experiencing for yourself. It is up there with like the best plot twists in gaming, though. Like,
yeah. And I liked how 3 went back to its serious roots. And again, this is just from my personal opinion. Like I just loved how it was like, okay, this feels very real. These characters feel very real. Their purpose and their like stories. Anyways, so when I saw this trailer, I'm like, okay, it's called Xenoblade Genesis, and it's like, okay, so it's implying that's gonna be either a beginning of something or the beginning of this series or whatever. But then I saw on X that a lot of people are saying that this game has a lot of like weird keys or connections to Xenosaga in terms of like location names, character names, even like some terms that are used in the trailer. So I'm gonna have to find a way to play Xenosaga now in order to kind of understand like what people are talking about. But I would actually, so I would ask you then, Grim, how do you think about, or what do you think about the design of the characters? Because like the last couple games they didn't really have like elves, right? And now you see like elves in this like Genesis game. Like, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, that does. Now that you mention it, and the connection to Xenosaga, it does remind me of Saga. I'm wondering if I mentioned a vortex world, but I'm wondering if this isn't in fact a vortex world, but rather a cylinder, or maybe
Oh, yeah.
like a donut shape. Um, because that would I'm trying to figure out how to say this without like major spoiler. Well, you know what? These games have like mechs and stuff. What if this is a spaceship?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, because it kind of reminds me of the colonies in Gundam. How,
Yeah,
like,
like a colony ship.
yeah. No, that's a good point.
I think that's
Um,
exactly what this is going to be a colony ship. That would explain the Genesis too.
yeah. I mean, they've done space related stuff, right? We know about the first game and like how all that started, and then like X, right? Cross. Did you play that one by any chance? Did you play
I haven't
X?
played X. No,
That one's
that's the one I
crazy.
have no experience with.
That one, so you're a big MMO guy. You would probably like that game the most with the combat because of how like it really just plays into the MMO with like all the class changes you can do and all the different like arts like you can basically customize your character as much as you can once you unlock stuff. And then it has the mechs in it or the frames or whatever, the scale, excuse me. So you could like fly around, you could drive around and like really have fun like exploring this like open world like an MMO
I,
basically.
I got the definitive edition on Switch too.
Oh,
That
you're
should
good,
be
yeah.
a this should be a game I should play. Yeah,
It
but the
they
Xenosaga game, the trilogy, they're pretty long games.
yeah.
So
I heard about that,
buckle
yeah.
in. But yeah, they're good. They're a little anime tropey as well, but I would say for their time they're very good. Xeno Gears is the real classic.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, damn. They really need to like figure out something with the rights and get Xenosaga Xeno Gears remade. Like, cause Xenogears is Square,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then Xenosaga is it Bandai?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Bandai.
Bandai Namco.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially because they got Super Mario RPG remade with Square. It's like, come on.
They could. I mean, the Xenoblade fan base is pretty big. Like
Yeah.
these games do numbers.
I mean,
Well,
like I told you before, sorry, AC, but they did even dedicate a portion of their orchestra to Xenogears music, you know?
yeah.
So
That
there's hype around it still.
what kind of blows me away from the direct was how they announced like free DLC for Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3 on the Switch too. Well,
Oh,
free
yeah.
as in like it's like additions, I should say. So like
Yeah, it's
they
like micro things.
yeah, but
Quality of life.
they actually like put money into that and the teams went back into those games and added stuff. Apparently they even got of the original voice actors to revoice new lines for all those three game updates.
Oh
So
wow.
like they must have because Monolith Soft is a big studio now, like they're just growing. They could definitely shred out a portion of their studio to make a dedicated Xenogears like remake or remaster.
Hmm.
Because they have the technology, they have the staff, the people that can do it. And like you said, with the Square partnership for the Super Mario RPG, like it's all there. It's just like getting people to the table, right? Like just like forcing them to the Yakuza table and be like, all right, if you don't submit to this, everyone's got to give their pinkies up.
I feel like Xenogears could be a break glass in case of emergency moment for Nintendo. Like
Oh, even
it's
Square.
it's
Even.
like a Final Fantasy VII. It's like a Final Fantasy VII remake. Like Xenogears is one of the classic JRPGs. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
top 5 from that era.
I got to like point this out here. We got a Live Alive port in the 2.5D art style, okay?
I don't think they would be doing that kind of a remake. I think they would be doing a full
But
like a 3D remake. If
yeah,
they
but
did
you know what I'm
Xenogears.
saying though. Like they've already kind of proven that they have no problem going back to that IP well and breaking out, an obscure, Japanese only JRPG to fucking bring forward to just kind of get out there. Like that, and we're still waiting on Parasite Eve. Like those are like the two testicles that need to drop still, And then it's just like right there. You got Parasite Eve, and then you get Xenogears, and then all of a sudden, like the internet breaks down for a day, and then like the next day, everyone just says it's all woke and garbage, and then we move on with life.
Well, you know what? Talking about Square, that'll lead me to my final pick, my top 5 from Nintendo, and that's the Final Fantasy Resonance. I'm not really a big fan of HD 2D, if I'm being honest, but something about this one speaks to me a little bit more. It, I don't know, just thinking about the promise of a Final Fantasy, like a 2D game on the quality of like a 4 or a 6, like just a new game. I know there's like some talk about like it's not a remake and it's not a reboot of Final Fantasy Mobius, but it has some they took some elements from that. So it's not a remake, it's a new story, it's new characters, some characters carried over, some like concepts and ideas from the world building are carried over. But it is a new game. I don't know. Again, for me, not a huge fan of HD2D, but just the promise of that like classic Final Fantasy is.
Look, they got Final Fantasy and Octopath Traveler's engine with a lot more bells and whistles. Like today, they're showing off some boss fights. So here's a little bit of a preview to that about how the combat will work that IGN actually put out. So that's what's playing right now, and it looks phenomenal. That's the best way I could say it. This just looks like everything I love about Octopath Traveler.
Damn, that 2D art is really good.
I know, right?
Yep.
And I like the diverse range of heroes we got here. We got the protagonist of 9. We got the protagonist of 6. I think that samurai
That's the Warrior
guy,
of Light in the top left. That's from Final Fantasy 1.
yeah, that's
There's Terra in the top right. That's Zidane from 9 in the bottom right, and that's Cloud, obviously, in the top left.
yeah. Well, that's where you kind of confused me. You said I knew who Cloud was, and I said I was trying to figure out who that bottom one was.
Bottom left is Warrior of Light.
Yeah, you said top. Game. You said top left, and I'm like, wait, what? Isn't that Cloud?
Yeah,
like,
you did. I was like, wait.
I was like, wait a minute.
Stay quiet here.
Yeah.
You made my fucking brain just fucking error code.
No. I like the siren. Was that a summon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like I said, all this stuff looks fucking phenomenal. I love Octopath.
This looks better than anything they showed on the Direct. Why didn't they show this?
Exactly. So that's why I kind of wanted to show this little gameplay out there, because I know a lot of people, even though I'm like a nobody channel, but for the people who follow me, I know they probably didn't see this, so I wanted to show this off because, like I said, everything in here looks great. You know, like it kind of reminds me a lot of Fire Emblem, Engage a little bit with some of the heroes that they're fighting with. And I want to know more about this story. Obviously, I love the Octopath Traveler engine. It is the Octopath Traveler fighting system that I've come to love, and it looks like it's a next level iteration of that. So, this is an October release, and I can't wait to get my hands on this game. It's my October game. Because if you see, you'll see a little bit more of like the special summons and the special attacks and everything. It's kind of like what we were talking about with Persona 4 earlier, where it just looks so clean and so well done, and it's just giving you that. I guess the best way to say it, it just gives you those like really awesome memory barriers. Like right here, you got the Cloud stuff going on here, and I thought it was funny. Like they're all speaking English in this game, but Cloud is speaking Japanese when he does this attack. So that kind of caught me off guard. I was like, okay, that's a little weird. But
I mean, maybe it's like a localization. The game's not finished.
That's what I figured. But I just thought that just caught me off guard. I was like, well, they got that part done, but then it's just like, here comes Cloud, and he's just like speaking Japanese. I'm like, well, it's accurate, but it's like, well, that caught me off guard.
Cloud's voice actor was busy finishing up Revelation, maybe.
Yeah. AC, you have something you want to add?
Yeah, so it's the Resident uber Final Fantasy fan of like
Hmm.
3 months. No, so this when we were watching this live, I was like, I saw right away. I was like, okay, this looks Final Fantasy, and then they revealed the title. But yeah, like I was like, what is this game? This is impressive, and the HD 2D element that they're going with the art style, like it got me thinking that I wonder if they're testing the waters with FF, like the FF series in this style, for them to like go ham and I don't know, maybe remaking 1 through 6
One
all
through
over again.
six.
Yeah,
Mm,
with the 2D HD style, or everyone wants, or not everyone, a lot of people want Chrono Trigger in this style. I don't know if
Oh
Chrono
yes.
Trigger should get a remake, but if it does, people are saying this style. I'm trying to think of another game in this scope. But anyways, I thought like this looked really interesting, and I'm very excited to actually try this game. Like I'm gonna go out of my way to buy this game and give it a shot.
going this style would definitely be a lot cheaper for 1 through 6 as well. I feel like still 6, like they're gonna save 6 and do like a full remake because
Yeah.
6 is like, if 6 were remade to the quality of 7 remake, it would just be probably the best game in the series.
Yeah.
I feel like 6, 8, and 9 are gonna get that treatment eventually. Oh my goodness, we got a
I
wild
hope
Frank
for
here.
8.
Damn, y'all still going? Now they just redid 1 through 6 a few years ago. Yeah, with the Pixel remaster, I don't think they want to touch those. To be honest with you, if they do, I think they would just go full on remake at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like Final Fantasy 7 style and just redo everything from the
Final
beginning.
Final Fantasy fans will buy it again if they do if they do it in HD 2D.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would. I recently just beat the first 3 Final Fantasy games. I really love 3. I didn't expect to really fall in love with 3.
3 is really good.
Oh,
3
look at
is the
this.
first like great Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, and this is like best girl for a lot of the Final Fantasy fans, so I can like that. That was a beautiful art style.
Final Fantasy 4 is another great game. That's the one she's from, Terra.
I'm started Final Fantasy 4 actually, so I can't wait to find out what the hubbub is with her.
The music is incredible in 4 as well.
Hmm.
The music in 3 was really good. That's where they do Eternal Wind.
3 was just an overall great game, just from the job system and how much flexibility and fun you can have with that game.
Have they shown off what like your like? Do they have like a materia system? What is the equipment like? Like
They
how
have not, no. They've kind of kept a lot of that close to the vest. It's more so a couple boss fight sequences they've showed off. So I'm guessing a lot of this is like early boss fights.
Ramu? He's so pixelated.
And I think they only showed off the initial trailer. AC, you would like to add more to this?
I mean, I'm like I said, I'm excited to try it and see how it plays, and also the music. I'm very curious how the music's gonna be done.
Hmm.
And like actually, when we first saw it, I didn't even notice it until you mentioned it afterwards. How it has like that engage play style with the heroes of like the older games or the other games involved. So I'm
Hmm.
very curious, like how expansive that will be. Like all these different heroes across the Final Fantasy series. Like that would be really cool to see what they can do and how they get added and whatnot. So yeah.
I'm
I'm
also
hoping
curious.
14 gets some love. Some Inishtola.
I'm hoping though. One more thing. I wonder if they will allow you to swap heroes, kind of like Engage did, so you can swap around with like different cast of characters. Because if you got a set cast of, like this dude can only have Cloud, or this dude can only have,
I'm
Aaron.
betting that's the equipment system in this game. It'd be like 8 where you slot in Guardian Forces, but
Yeah.
instead you slot in like Cloud or whoever. I wonder. I'm also curious how much variety they're gonna have. Like, is it gonna be one character from each game?
I mean,
Is
that,
it gonna
that's
be only numbered games? Will there be characters from Tactics?
I. That's a good question. That's a good question. But it's like, okay, I don't think they've announced how long this game's going to be. I don't know how big your party system's going to
I
be.
think they did actually say the length of it.
What did they say? Do you remember then? Because I didn't hear that.
I don't remember. I thought I heard somebody say something about the length though.
good, good thing that we brought you here, Grim, to give us the
Yeah,
insight we needed.
yeah. To tell you nothing. Yeah, I don't know. I just remember. I feel like somebody said something about the links. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, but overall, this I'm just very excited about this. I did not know that Square was going to do this. This is a game I'm definitely going to double dip because I'll buy this for my physical collection, but I'll probably play this on Xbox to be honest with you, or I'll buy it again digitally, the Switch 2 version, and just have the Switch 1 version physically on my shelf.
Yeah, that's actually something I'm a big concern about is Switch 1 performance.
40 hours.
Mm. Is that and then we don't know if they're going to have side content or anything, or if that's just
30 to 40 hours for main story, 60 to 80 hours to do side content.
All right, so this is going to be a big chunky boy. So I'm guessing that there's going to be a lot of content. They're showing off a lot of the hits, but I guarantee you, we got the guy from Final Fantasy VIII. He's going to be in Leon, right?
Squall, Leon, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Squall was what he was called in 8. Leon's what he's called in Kingdom Hearts.
That's who I'm more used to calling him, is Leon. I feel like they might do some more homages to some of the older Final Fantasy games as well. I mean, we got the Hero of the Light from the first Final Fantasy game, so there's that. But technically, the Hero of the Light is like the first 3 Final Fantasy games, so it could be anyone.
Well, there's separate characters from those.
I know, but they basically all are Hero of the Light. You know, if you didn't show you the combat system, like most people probably wouldn't know which Final Fantasy they're from. So yeah, definitely can't wait to check this out.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 3 usually is Onion Knight.
I love Onion Knight. That's one of my favorite classes. So yeah, that was your top 5 from each of those events. AC, do you have any other thoughts that you'd like to add since we've been talking about this, or would you like to allow Grim to wrap up with the rest of the showcases we might have missed?
If are we gonna wrap up the Nintendo Direct?
We're kind of doing that right now.
Okay. I just want to quickly add that they did announce, it was a quick tease, look at the new Atelier game. It was at the Nintendo Direct, and then on the
I wasn't
Japanese.
sure if that was a new game.
Yeah, it's a new one. Actually,
it's a new game, and in the Japanese Direct, they actually showed like gameplay and a little bit of the story, and they actually confirmed in that trailer, whatever, that it actually takes place in the same world as the Yumiya one that came out last year. So that was kind of cool to see that. And then they also showed some gameplay for Trails in the Sky second chapter in the Japanese Direct. And that, by the way, that comes out on the 17th.
Oh yeah, that's right. It does come out the 17th.
I'm getting DP'd on the 17th by Fire Emblem and second chapter. So
you're getting rotisserie chicken? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So
good time to be a JRPG fan. Like,
oh yeah,
it's been a resurgence these last few years. Like,
I
crazy.
mean, it's funny. We didn't even talk about Murimasa also coming back as well.
Oh yes, that's the Vanillaware title. Yep.
Yeah, we also got another Dragon Quest monster game, which is also coming out. Which, oh boy, we're just getting fucked. And like you were saying, Tales of Eternia remaster is also coming out, which was kind of glanced over. Which is funny as hell to me, because the same day that happened, I found a collector's edition, a Japanese collector's edition, in a retro store near me. So I took that as a sign of God that I had to buy it.
All right, boys. I got to get going here pretty soon. So, do you want me to knock out a couple names out of some of the other showcases?
Yeah, just give a few shout outs there, Graham, and I could let you go.
Sure. We got a new look at There Are No Ghosts at the Graham.
That Xbox game. That looks so great.
Yeah, they showed this off at the PC Gaming Show, and there's a new look at the gameplay. It looks a lot different than I was expecting, so just something to keep in mind. Like the gameplay looks very unique, very different. It looks like they're I'll just say look up the trailer if you're interested in that game. Look this up. It continues to look incredible. Next up, Abiotic Factor. It's one of my favorite games in recent times. It's a really good survival game. It's like Half-Life is a survival game, and it got it's getting a DLC, or its first DLC coming out this summer. That also looks very good. If you are an Abiotic Factor fan already, let's keep that on your radar. If you're not an Abiotic Factor fan and you like survival games, I would say that Abiotic Factor is the best survival game, and it's not even close. It's a very good game, very very good game. Um, Next one, Star Trek Outposts Unknown.
Mm.
This is a Star Trek colony builder. It looks very good. We didn't see a ton of it, but it's a promising concept. I don't know why nobody's thought to do this before. We got a new Vampire the Masquerade game. We didn't see much, but it is a CRPG. It looks very similar in style to Disco Elysium, so a very narrative-focused CRPG. I think this has more promise than anything else that's been done with the Vampire the Masquerade sort of property, IP. So I think this one is called Eternal Whispers. Vampire the Masquerade, Eternal Whispers. It's very good. At the end of the PC gaming show, there was a game called Into the Wind. The trailer doesn't really show you much about the gameplay. It's just got a very, again, sort of a classic, almost Ghibli sort of art style, but 3D, where you're riding on a bike and then the bike turns into a flying machine. The description on the when you go to like the developer's page describes the game as being similar to Death Stranding, where you're traveling and delivering packages and things, but you're not without like the apocalypse. Look this one up. Into the Wind.
Into the Wind. All right, got it.
This one again, very striking art style. Definitely worth putting on your radar. It's an indie game, sort of one of those sort of indie darling kind of games.
Oh, this one kind of looks like Sky Strikers and Studio Ghibli stuff, isn't it?
That's what I was saying. The Ghibli sort of art style, yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, I think this is one to keep on your radar for sure. Again, don't have a ton of an idea of what the gameplay is outside of like that sort of developer blurb, but it seems to be package delivery.
It's Death Stranding, but better.
Yeah, Death Stranding, but like Ghibli, wholesome Death Stranding. I mean, this gameplay here, like you're firing a gun and out of your motorbike airplane, so maybe there's some like combat to it. I don't know. This game looks really cool though.
It does. I kind of like that your motorcycle can become an airplane. This looks creative and fun.
Yeah. So that's one I think that's going to get slept on because it was a PC gaming show, but that one was one of the more impressive indie games I saw. We're getting a Thief: The Dark Project remaster from Night Dive. The people did System Shock, so they're going back and doing yet another immersive sim classic. Doesn't look graphically all that impressive, but I mean, just having Thief with like modern gameplay improvements and things is more than enough for me. Like modernizing one of the original immersive sims from Looking Best Studio. And then we got a Cassette Beasts sequel. This one's worth pulling up the trailer for as well. It's Cassette Beasts 2002. They're going in a very different art style. This time it's in 3D. It's got a sort of a nostalgic look to it. If you're not familiar with Cassette Beasts, it's a Pokemon sort of competitor, creature collector. But you capture your Pokemon in cassette tapes. So
Oh, it's kind of like a summoner kind of deal. It looks like too. Like fused together to make a bigger version. Well, this looks fun.
yeah, keep watching for like when we get out into the world and start running around. Yeah, so there. That's not a lot, but it's if you've not seen the first game, this is like a step up, like clearly a step up in terms of production quality. I wasn't really interested in the first game, but this one has got my attention. Um, this looks like almost like a potential direction for where Pokemon could have gone back in the day, and they didn't go in this direction.
Hmm.
And it seems like I don't know. It's just like an alternative like Pokemon. It's an interesting style if you're into Pokemon or creature collectors in general. It's one to keep on your radar. But those are some other indie games that were not shown off in any of the big showcases that I thought like all of those deserved attention and they didn't get it.
Okay, cool. Go look them up, check them out, so on and so forth. And I think with that being said, we should kind of wrap it up. Thank you for coming on, Grim. I'll definitely keep in touch with you for some later shows if you can make them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I appreciate you for coming on. I had a great time, and I hope you did too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I always enjoy talking about games. Don't usually get to go this deep on them, just hanging out with buddies. So.
Well, anytime you want to come on, or if you have a topic, like I said, you're always free to hit me up. And every Friday we do gaming news. So if you ever have a free Friday and you just want to talk games or get in on the news, just let me know.
Yeah, if there's something fun to talk about, for sure, I'll hit you up.
All right, buddy, go get some sleep. We'll talk to you later, and I'll land this plane with my buddy AC here. All righty.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too,
See you,
buddy.
man.
Peace. All right, AC, how about you? You got any other fun things you like to add before we close out here?
Not really. I'm just trying to, like, you guys covered quite a bit of what if I was here earlier, I would have covered as well. So definitely, definitely got everything in as much as you could.
Grade the shows then, real quick, before we close it off.
State of Play, I don't remember. I think it was pretty mid, so I would say that one was a C. Nintendo Direct was a B for me, just because of all the JRPGs that were announced. Xbox, I don't know, B, and then Summer Games Fest was an A for me, with Code Veronica to start the show, and then FS7 Revelation to close the show. So, yeah, I think Games Fest was a bit more fun for me than the other ones.
I can agree with you on that one. And I guess we could start landing this plane and calling it a day. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. We went a lot longer, almost an extra hour, but it was definitely fun. I do enjoy talking with Grim. I don't get to do that very often, but I'm happy that he was able to fill in. And I'm happy you stopped by too, AC, even if it was just for a little bit at the end. It's always good to have you on. As we should say, tomorrow we will be back with our friends Mr. Nerdy Neo, Frank Adores Gaming, and our friend Gino for the first episode of Nostalgia Saved as we sit down and we do the top 5 system sellers episode. And that will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central, same time as today. And then next week, we're going to be a little wonky about our schedule. We have finally our delayed show for Monday with J Bongo, which is the episode dedicated to the NES. As far as I know, all the super bad storms are out of the way. So hopefully we'll be able to get through this one, knock on some wood there for some luck. And I didn't wake my dog up, so that means we're in good luck. So that will be Monday's show coming up. After that, the new show should be the same on Friday. But we are remodeling my upstairs, so we might be a little bit MIA for a couple days as we set up the new recording studio in our house and just get a whole bunch of rearrangements down. AC, you got anything that you want to plug before we go?
Yeah, maybe tomorrow morning for you guys, I might do another Resident Evil 4 stream and try to get through the game, because I'm I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game right now, so we'll see if I can push through it. And yeah, earlier today I did Jurassic Park. It was a lot of fun. So just chipping away at these games.
Yeah, and Frank says state of play was a solid D. All right, everyone, have yourself a wonderful night. I am going up north to Retro Hunt tomorrow, so I'll probably post a few shorts from there, and then we will see you.